Everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene, and yes, indeed, I am back from my short sabbatical, and of course, it is the 3rd of the month of October, and we are going to get started with the questions in a very quick, short little bit. Before I do, I want to give you, for those of you who follow Louis Rossman, for his videos on Rossman Repair, his store, building his store is in, has caught fire. It was a 6-alarm fire. It looks like his shop is okay. And apparently it's the building next door that actually caught fire, not his shop. But he won't be able to know until tomorrow, because the fire brigade told him that he couldn't enter his property until they confirmed that the fire is extinguished. We had a similar fire many years ago here in Winston at a place called Boney's Cafe. Same situation where old building, lots and lots of layers of construction on top of construction, and basically made it very difficult for the fire brigade to get to the root of the fire. The fire department in New York believes that it started in the first floor restroom. Maybe somebody threw a cigarette in the trash can. Who knows? We don't know. I don't know. You don't know. But that's probably what has happened. And so let's get started with the chats. And I got to turn on the Discord too. So let me do that real first. So let's get this switched over and I'll get the Discord started here as well. So we all know Snow Queen Radio, of course, is where we do most of our talking on Discord, and so let's get this started. And hey, did you start talking or you not? Duh. Can't tell. I didn't hear the noise. So let's just make sure this is working. Oh yes, now I heard it. All right, reinitializing. And we'll go to the chat screen right now and get this started. Right now, of course, I'm the only one here. And check the phone. And that's good. The phone's working, the chat's working, the microphone's working, and I can see my face on the phone. The iPhone here, the other phone here in the background here. And so let's see. You sure you're live? I don't see why it wouldn't be. Go check it real quick here. Yeah, I'm live. Okay. So the point is, this is Louis Rossman store. Oh. Well, we know what to do with you, right, Mr. Update? Yeah. Hit close. Ding. Okay. Make sure the stream is streaming correctly. And, yep. Okay. So, this pork mac is another albatross that eventually is going to need to be replaced sooner or later. And so let me just see if the sound works here. So okay. So the point is, this is Louis Rossman store. Oh. Well, we know what to do with you, right? So anyway, that's the situation here. Let's change just the volumes here. And we see our Liberty tree, so I need a new one to actually what? What are you talking about, our Liberty tree 0? About a new Mac or a new store? So anyway, as far as Louis Rossman, he hopes that his Macs and his products that he's repairing for customers will be safe. We don't really know. The fire brigade said he could not enter. Oh, so the 2013 one you have is not fast enough? I thought yours. It seemed like it was working fairly well. I mean, At least the video seemed to be doing better. I do know that the Open Broadcaster Studio is, unfortunately, is a bit resource intensive. How's the weather been? In my area, it's been mild. It hasn't been too cold. Yesterday was raining pretty heavy. With lots of showers, and the day before, but it wasn't too bad overall. I got some of my laundry washed. I still have to wash my socks in a sham, but yeah, the 2015 Macs are, maybe you can finance it. What are you going to do with the old one? Just use it for regular YouTube work? Or, you're going to donate it to a worthy cause? That's a good question, right? I was thinking about going for a 16 gigabyte one myself, just to be safe. Because clearly the more RAM you have in the computer, the better it's going to work. Because it's not going to have to hit the swap file as much, which is a big plus. So first I was going to get 8 gigabyte because I thought 8 gigabyte with RAM would be enough to start with. I don't think so, honestly. I haven't actually talked to him except much briefly in a comment. He was wondering why I was mentioning about my cat food, and I brought an attention. Yeah, that'd be fine. This Mac I'm using right now, if I do get the 2000, I was going to get the 2013, but it turns out that Apple, as you probably found, is the same as the 2015, made upgrading the memory a colossal nightmare for aftermarket upgrades in the 2012 and later, because they basically glued the thing shut. They took out the easy access memory upgrades areas, and you have to basically almost completely dissect the sucker just to add chips. And what's the show about? Pretty much almost anything and everything that comes up. It's not really any particular topic. We cover political, we cover spiritual, we cover personal, we cover relationships, we cover anything that pretty much comes up. Of course, weather, because I am the North American Snow Queen. That's my job, is weather. And already there may be some early snowstorms for the Midwest, according to another weather channel. So I was a little bit surprised to see that. But there is an icy finger coming down from Canada, ready to noodle the center of the country. And the warm moisture is coming from the south. It's going to try to wedge into it, and it's going to potentially give the Midwest some early snow. We already know that Montana and parts of the far north of the United States do have snow. There might be some more snow potentially falling in the Rocky Mountain area of Colorado. Potentially. First of all, 11830, there's two things to keep in mind. Number one, he's living in Manchester, England. Okay, that's a big problem right there. And the second thing is he's very much into alcohol, and I don't drink. And those two things, I think, would make any potential being more than just potential friendship would be very doggone difficult. And second of all, I think blowjobs are disgusting anyway. But you did ask me to look up that Amber, what's her name here? Amber something Slutwalk. I looked that up. I watched a little bit about that, the arguments pro and for and against it, and I was like, really? Seriously? Is this what these liberals have come to? They're so out of touch with what really goes on in the world. I hope to God they don't cause a syphilis explosion. That's was going to be a country report story, but I will just cover it briefly here. Guys, there's nothing good about being promiscuous. And free sex, free partners, it's not a good thing. It can increase the risk of STDs, all kinds of nasty things you don't want to deal with. Syphilis, gonorrhea, other illnesses. AIDS was supposedly exploded, not only because of the HIV drug use, but also because of unprotected sex. And so, seriously, not something I want to go to. Michele is a hermaphrodite, is married to her voice in her head named Lumi, and Finestra, who is I'm not a dyke. Oh no, she's not a dyke. From Finland, born in the 1800s, 1835. Michele is a North American snow queen, which means she has superpowers to control the weather. You know it's legit because she filmed the coronation where she channeled the Almighty Mother Asa. And also he did Mother Asa channeling about a week ago as well. And I see what your peer is pointing to his round hand as in saying is, okay, I get it. Yes, that's what we're talking about Saturday. And we will talk more about it Saturday, trust me. Do you channel your sexual energy into other facets? Yes, obviously. One of the things I channel my energy into is my performance in my job, what I do, my channel, the research. I never heard of anyone getting STDs from researching the news. No, but they get mental illness. Mental illness. Great people are too corrupted, and a demonic channeling. Actually, I've been thinking about something a little bit less. I don't really want to go through the demonic again. I really don't like doing demons. First of all, I feel very uncomfortable doing demonic. We've talked about that privately, but we mentioned to me about the 13th as well, with Shoe Nice makes a return visit. I'm not going to do a mukbang, but I tell you what, I'm a storyteller, and I really rather tell stories. And I know he tells stories too. I think I'm a better storyteller than I am a stand-up comic, trust me. Sometimes I might come up with funny witticisms, but I'm not really that funny. Who's pitching and who's catching with you? And I already explained at the beginning that right now it is not feasibly practical. Because he's in Manchester, England, I'm in the United States, so. Is Grigster on the show tonight? I don't know. He could show up. He did subscribe to my channel originally. If he chooses to show up, he could be in the chat section. But I know that R11830 and Cringe Report are probably going to have him on their show. Maybe, I don't know, possibly on a Saturday. He might show up as a guest. You never know. That's the nice thing about this live streams. You never know who's going to show up. By the way, for those of you who want to talk to me directly, you can speak to me through Discord as well. Let me get the Discord chat stream key for you so you can all have it. So let's get to this. Yeah. Let's go to the invite people. And I'm going to go to edit this link. I'm going to make this immortal. I always like to make my links immortal. Generate the link. Copy. Okay. And then we'll just post this link into here. This is an immortal link, so you can use this link to join us on Discord. Okay, here we go. I'm going to type this in here. Use this link to join us on Discord is an immortal link, meaning it doesn't die, like Jason from Friday the 13th. Yeah, did he actually? I don't really keep up with Friday the 13th. Maybe some of the horror movie people might be more familiar if Jason ever actually died in Friday the 13th. I don't know. But anyway, so we are on Discord, and you can just jump in on the Discord chat, and you should be able to speak up. I just ask you when you do that. Try to keep the background noise to minimum because of many reasons. One of the facts is, especially if you have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6 people on Discord talking, it can get really let's say creepypasta with Michelle. Whenever you horror movie, what's your favorite horror movie? I'm excited. The movie I like is Beetlejuice, which isn't really a horror movie so much. Another one is it's a comedy movie. And Beetlejuice is kind of a comedy too. Is Defending Your Life. That one is cool because Beetlejuice is cute because so you got the strange characters, and in Defending Your Life you got Meryl Streep and Gutenberg, and they died in prior accidents in their lives, and they come back and they meet up on the other side, and of course they got into a relationship, and he fell madly in love with her, and she fell madly in love with him. That's a good romantic comedy. They got cute though. I like that. It's a good show. Probably not, but I'll tell you what. From the Sprite and banana, sound like they would make a good smoothie drink. A little bit fizzy, but I mean, bananas are good for potassium. So yeah, I mean, you could make a nice smoothie with that. The problem is right now is this month is because I have run almost out of money, just taking care of the domestic needs. I don't really have a lot of extra money to throw around right now. So, what's your favorite color? I like purple. Like I'm wearing right now. I like white. But white is not actually a color. It's actually, if it's talking about source of light, it's a combination of all colors together in the spectrum. If you're talking about printing, is the absence of all colors being applied to a page. I like peach. But I don't think peach will work too well on my hair right now. The doubles reject is awesome. Okay. Absence of color. I saw a movie called Monster House. It was a kid's movie. It was weird. A house that wants to terrorize everybody because the house of some woman that lived there personified. Really weird. That's fine. I'll just ask you, showing on a shoe nice so we can get. Well, you know what I would do is if you seriously really want to try something useful, is I think for this is more for Halloween. I suggested to R11 about this is maybe we could have me talk a little bit about the afterlife and what happens after you die, because I think that would be quite fitting for what Halloween is, and the fact that it actually is to be the beginning of the new Wiccan year. Actually, it's the final harvest of the year, and it would be wonderful to bring in Samhain because of the fact that the veil between here and the other side is at its thinnest. And people did ask about Grigster, and I don't really know if Grigster will be on this show, but maybe Cringe Report, maybe you'll have Grigster on again. I I'm talking about the Shoe Night show, not the... Okay, well, I'm covering both. Right. But as far as the 13th show, I'm not really too sure. I really want to get into too many food ones, because of the fact is that really I gotta really watch what I eat, because after all, I'm not exactly skinny. And finally, after watching enough, well, the guy that starts with the letters DLF, I basically kind of just had to unsubscribe because I couldn't take any more of him. Sorry, he was just a bit too much for me. Every time I see him on his little show walking around in his underwear, he's always got his mandibles around food, and it's like, just kind of grossed me out. The point where I said, yuck. I said, this is just not something I can watch anymore. Yeah, Griggy was cool. I thought he was really good. 105 views in that stream. We got up to about 328, and now we lost 3 subscribers again. So we got to try to find a way to keep the subscribers coming in, which means we got to figure out what's causing the churn, although I have my hunches. You should have on Don A. Who's Don A? Who is Don A? I've been trying to get a couple people on here, but I haven't had much luck. It's a late night live stream with Don. Okay, well, right now I'm still trying to figure out if we're ever going to be able to get Rebecca Marina Messenger on my show, which I've really been wanting to get her on for years. At least since 2013, and I don't know, she seems to be kind of hesitant of being on my show. Who is that TMD? The Late Night Stream with Don is the name of the show. It's called The Late Night Live Stream with Don. Whoever Don is, I don't know who Don is. So it's Friday nights at 11 p.m. I wasn't much too good for us because of obvious reasons. I got people from the UK that were a little bit upset that these shows are on at 7 o'clock our time, and I said to one of them nicely, it was actually Critical Unity, he said to me, he said, Michelle, that's midnight my time. He said, I'm going to sleep then. I said, I understand that. That's why we do the 2 other shows earlier on Friday and Saturday at 2, so that people in the UK can be able to enjoy the shows at more civil time for them. Because, you're right, no one's going to want to stay up at midnight watching a show unless it's A, totally mind-blowingly awesome. Sorry guys, that's not my show. Or B, I'm gonna watch the reruns, which is very common. I'm almost done reading the Satanic Bible okay. I know cheating can't. Okay, so what can you tell me about the Satanic Bible? Where's Peter Peace? Me Peace is around, I know. He'll be here. He always comes in. So what is the Eno Chen keys? Eno Chen keys. Skynick is checking in. How you doing today? Kunji Port gives you 6 eyes. I don't know what 6 eyes means, but he gives you 6 eyeballs. I don't have 6 eyeballs. No, well, 5 fingers too? Okay. So, we're going to try to get a couple things in. Here is a medical information, which is not surprising. Ask anybody who's ever had a urinary tract infection about this one. And this is like one of those Journal American Medical Association reports that's like a duh approach. They say that if a woman drinks at least 2.5 to 1.5 to 2 liters of water a day, she could avoid urinary tract infections. Like, yeah, I've had plenty of UTIs. Thank you very much. They suck. Okay, so the idea of drinking 2 to 3 liters of water a day does make sense because it basically makes you pee like a racehorse. And trust me, you rather piss a lot than have painful urinary tract infections, which suck. It's about human intelligences. They into magic, but I don't believe white magic is a real term. Well, technically, white magic is just, it's not a real term in a sense. No more than I'm trying to think of something that would be equivalent to it. Is like white magic is saying is something similar like a white gun versus a black gun kind of thing. It's still a gun. It can be used for either one. Magic can be used to cause harm or to do good. People who do white magic intend to do good, but by their natures of what magic is, you can cause harm. And the sad truth is that when you get involved with magic long enough, you start to see where the lines between the light and the dark kind of blur, like just like it does on the Thanksgiving turkey kind of thing. Some people like white meat, some like dark meat, but the truth is it's still meat, right? I don't really get into a big deal about yes, I agree with Satanist whole deception. Speaking of deception, the what's it, Sweatnik is full of deception. Oh, Karina Sweatnik. What a name. Of course, also several of the attorneys working for Mrs. Ford may end up being disbarred by the Washington, D.C. Bar Association because they did not tell her in their counsel that she could actually do a private discussion with the FBI and the committee in the month of July instead of being forced to drag her dirty laundry into the open. That was in part because Miss Dianne Feinstein and Chuck Schumer wanted to make a big stink when it should have been remained a private event and quietly had been logged and documented. Well, they said that those two attorneys, Mrs. Katz and the other gentleman, may be subject to disbarment by the Washington, D.C. Bar Association. Well, don't worry about it. I don't think you sound like BPC. He isn't here yet, but usually he'll usually BPC you more under the table than anything. Yeah. So anyway, as far as the computer goes, yeah, I seriously, I looked into the iMacs, and I'm really almost like ready to rip my hair out of my head. Because frankly, it's like you either can get one cheap, but it's underpowered, only 8 gigs of RAM, which is fine for my pocketbook, or you can get one with more memory and possibly damaged goods like scratches and nicks, possibly cracked screens. And I'm like, oh, come on, give me a break. Don't you have one that is in good shape that might not be costing me an arm and a leg? And the problem is the Macs that are of the 2011 Macs are actually glued shut. I know, that's technically not true, but you know what? Seriously, to replace the CMOS battery on the 2012 and later Mac, you have to basically pop the screen off just to get to the CR2032 battery if so the CMOS clock dies. And you know it will. Guess what? You're going to have two choices. A, live with constantly updating your BIOS settings every time you boot the machine. Or B, if you don't feel like you got the guts enough to do it yourself, you bring it to the Apple store and have them change the battery out, and they'll probably want to try to sell you a new Mac in place and say, guess what? Your Mac is old and kaput. Here, I'll give you trading credit for this. I just want the battery changed. Sorry, ain't doing that. You buy new or you buy used, but you gotta buy from us. Mommy! Seriously. I looked at the Mac Pro 2010, looked at the power consumption, it said, and 120 volts, 12 amps at 100 volts, which is the low end of the high voltage switch-mode power supply. 12 amps at 100 volts. 1,200 watts. That means if I bought that Mac, I wouldn't be able to turn on any studio lights. I wouldn't be able to run any extra light fixtures at all without sitting in the dark. Unless you plug it into the stove outlet. Yeah, the transformer to do that is going to be almost as much as, maybe not quite as much, but pretty expensive. Just to have a chunky 240 angry pixies coming out of yon receptacle in kitchen. Ugh. So, anybody got any questions? Let's see. I think people were expecting well rights. I think they got it. Are you wearing your seatbelts? Because, I mean, we are kind of having a wild ride. So anyway, what did I do? Obviously, as I said, I didn't do a hell of a lot. I did a cameo role on Sunday, Saturday night for my show. I was on for a little bit with the end. We had some trouble getting Skype working. We got Skype working. And so I was on in the end of the Sunday night show. I took Monday off, Tuesday off, and I'm here now. During this time, I tried to get as many chores in as I could. I ordered some cat litter and cat food and stuff like that, so I should be here by Friday. And so that's about all I did. Oh yeah, some holiday. I actually kept doing work on news research because Michelle is afraid of being infested by demonic energies. Correct. Demons are dangerous. You don't want to just go ahead and start channeling them. They can actually cause grave harm to your soul, especially if you're not properly preparing your words. And if I'm not at the door with a baseball bat, they're going to try to do everything they can to screw Michelle up. I hate Lucifer. I know. Even the lesser demons are no safer because they work like MS-13. They're almost like the mafia. They go out there and they get paid commission for every soul they steal. And you got to be really careful because, like Lumi said, if you're not at the metaphorically at the door with a baseball bat, they can really seriously own you. And that's no joke. Besides that, remember, Halloween is not necessarily always involved demons. That's the thing that makes it exciting. Oh yeah, I kind of get a feeling that the devil's got his little minions and his little surveillance people going around. They've been listening to everybody. They look for ways to find any weaknesses. Of course, with Lumi around, any demonic entity would find it very difficult to get in because, as she said, she basically stands at the door with a baseball bat and basically threatens to beat the crap out of them if they try. But still, You can't do much when you voluntarily open the door and say, "Welcome into my body." If you do that, and then of course you just give them an open invitation. It's not a good thing to do. As you probably found out from your own research about demonic entities, is that they are sneaky, conniving little people and are seeking to destroy the children of God. And we need to be very careful, because right now what we're seeing in this world is clearly the devil's playground, and it's really scary. And it's not the kind of thing I would recommend you do for fun. And that's the truth. I think for the Halloween, when Michelle wants to talk about the afterlife, I think that'd be a great topic. We've covered it on my show, but not recently. Our Lemon says, sometimes when I'm falling asleep, I feel like something is trying to come into my room. It's very hard to explain, hopefully not a demon. Depends on how it feels. There's a lot of energies that can come into our homes that are not necessarily malevolent. Remember, those on the other side can visit the earth, and they observe us. In fact, you could say, like, on the other side, they watch the earth like we used to watch Big Brother TV. They want to see how we're doing on the earth. Our spirit guides and our guardian angels are always watching us. But at the same time, as you probably see from Oh God, You Devil, the dark entities are also looking for easy ways to get in. So you got to be very careful, because the dark entities, if they see an opportunity, remember watching Oh God, You Devil, you'd understand that when our little musician man there basically said, I would sell my soul to the devil to get ahead in this business, that was a key for Lucifer to basically take him out for a ride. So you got to be careful, because that's exactly the kind of stuff that is basically like, come on in, the water's fine. Skynet says, I see the number 6 and 666 coming a lot in video games I play. It scares me. Well, depending on the game situation, the 666 may very well be a plot device in the game. The number 6 itself doesn't necessarily reflect anything. But, by the way, there's also, and this is not a joke, this is actually real, the devil supposedly has his own phone number. It's 666-666-6666. I don't know if God has one. If it did, given that formula, it would be 777-777-7777. Yeah, I can do that, but I gotta get my headphones off. Hold on a minute. I gotta get it out of the sink, too. It's washed. The calendar, I've been thinking about this thing, is I saw, many years ago, I knew a woman from Korea. She was making kimchi. And she had this huge salad bowl. I mean, we're talking huge. This bowl was about a meter in diameter. And I wonder how that would sound. That sounds better there than it does it here. A screensaver. Alright. You ain't dirty. I got it. So anyway, my neighbors wonder what all that noise is about. They don't really know the story about the calendar. So anyway, they have this one woman had this huge, according to scene 10 about the episode is true. Like, okay, skating infants like consistent of playing an RPG game, and I did 666 damage when normally I do 600 or 1,000. It happens frequently in a lot of games I play where it's not a horror game. Well, some people like to talk about the power of numbers, and it is, according to the Scene 10 and Bible episodes, what's opposite true? So I think they're referring to magic. Right. Yes, but out on the wire, please understand one thing about demonic entities, okay? They look for easy prey. And especially people who are physically incapacitated or sick or suffering under depression or depressive fugues, where their will is really low, they take advantage of that to really, really make trouble for them. And to keep up against the demonic entity takes a lot of spiritual energy, and it's not something, if you're ill, you're going to be able to muster that kind of energy. That's the ring, and oh good lord, I can't type on this for you. Why don't you just join us on Discord? You know how to speak on Discord. You know, just if you're home, just go onto Discord right now and go to my channel. I just sent the link up there at the beginning. I will resend it to you guys again. It says, for those of you who don't know it, and for those of you who want to chat in spoken word instead of typing constantly, here we go. You can just go ahead, click on that link, link, subscribe, and just go right to Snow Queen Radio. You'll see me there, and we could talk on the radio as well. We don't have to talk by typing if it's easier for some people. I know that with my eyesight, typing on glass is a pain in the ass. Typing on glass is a pain in the ass. Yep. Typing on glass is a pain in the ass. I love that. It's too hard to talk at the same time. Okay, I understand that. Yeah. You know, there's a mode on Android where you probably see the microphone icon on the keyboard where you can actually type by just speaking, although it's not really perfect either. For example, let's take this phone for example. I'm going to put a second with you. Okay, see how I have here the keyboard? I type here, right here, line here. You see this little microphone on the side over here? All I do is just tap the microphone. This is a test message to show how this works, period. This is a test message to show how this works, period. And there you go. Now you'll see that's how it works. So if you have good pronunciation, you can actually use that instead of typing. For chat messages like this, that works fine. For most things, this works okay, unless you have a noisy environment, or have terrible speech and pronunciation, period. So that's the way you can do that. That's a cool thing. Though iOS has the same feature. I think the iOS version may be a little bit more sophisticated, but at least now you know you can do that. So you can actually speak to your phone by using the speech option. Thank you for the pointer. I talked this message in. Not a problem. I'm glad it worked for you. You'll figure it out. I actually screwed up at first too. At first I thought I was speaking and the microphone was supposed to be on. It wasn't. I had turned it off by mistake. I found out from testing it works better for shorter, simpler sentences. If you go really complicated, it has a hard time. Also, to make sure to specify pronunciation at the end of your sentence, for example, period, exclamation point, comma, quote. If you don't use those kind of marks, it won't include them, which makes it sound like a big giant run-on. R11H30 did that mistake when he said, "Thank you for the pointer. I talked this message in." What I would say is, "Thank you for the pointer. Period. I typed this message in," or "Thank you for the pointer, comma. I typed this message in," or "I talked this message in." It was actually a feature, I think, designed to help those with visual impairments who, particularly because of physical difficulties, may not be able to type. I don't really use it a lot. Frustrated. Patty is frustrated. I will tell you real quick why. She doesn't have the money to get an apartment. She's living in a place right now where the guy is a total dickhead and he's a drinker and abusive, and she wants out, but she has not enough money to get out. Her car is sitting at a impound yard because she owes towing fees. She cannot afford to get it towed out. She says she would need about $400+ to get it towed out. And she said if she don't pay them in a couple of weeks, they're going to add to the fee for a total of $600. She only gets $750. I told her straight out, nicely, but I said, "Patty," I said, "you're going to have to make some changes in your life because you don't have the resources to do the things you want to do." It's not exactly the kind of news she wanted to hear, but unfortunately, she says, "Yeah, I know." I said, "Besides that, it's not going to be easy to find an apartment that's going to allow 2 dogs, 3 cats." I said, "That's going to be..." "Yeah, well, I found one place, but this is a $700 deposit." "Yeah, you don't have $700, lady." I said, "If I were you," I said, honestly, I think you need to get rid of the albatross of yours called a car because it's costing you more money than you got. And I don't think that made her too happy. Jinx NDTHING says, "Yo." Yo to you too. And to marry me as well. So clearly she's I don't know what she's gonna do. I really don't know. I said to her, I would be willing to help you, but I said there's no way I can take in 3 cats, 2 dogs without my landlord potentially throwing me out in the street. My landlord does not want dogs in here, and 3 cats, my 3 are bad enough. Never mind taking in 3 more. I will never get a moment of peace. Besides that, she was a prior tenant anyway. She was a prior tenant here. She fell behind the rent. The landlord threw her out. My landlord's very specific about that. No prior tenants are allowed back in the premises. And I told her, I said, there's no realistically I can take in all those pets. So she's screwed, and there's nothing I can do to help her out here. So she's going to have to make some changes, and she's going to have to make them fast, because right now the falls is straight ahead, and she don't even got a friggin' paddle. That's the whole problem. She did invite me over for Thanksgiving dinner for Thanksgiving, and the problem is where are we going to have Thanksgiving? Considering she said that she doesn't want to stay where she's at. I have no idea. I can't lend her any money. I don't even have any money to lend her. I only got about, after I paid the credit cards this month, I only got about $15 in my checking account and about 65 in my savings. So that's not going to happen. It's gotta, because I gotta pay my Capital One card of 50, and I gotta pay the remaining balance on my care credit of $25.13. 25.12, I think it is. Is it 25.12 or was 25.13? Either way, close enough the same. $25 is rounded off. So yeah, that means that guess what? There ain't gonna be no extra money to rub too many nickels together. She used to live in this apartment. This originally was her apartment 12 years ago. I didn't know that until she told me when she was at the soup kitchen about 12 years ago. Oh, I used to live there. Like, really? This is her apartment. So she lived in the exact same apartment I did. She moved out just when I moved in. So basically, it's kind of interesting. Irish Jeans Marie says, how you doing? Hey, Michelle, she says. How's it going? Discord chat's on, by the way, if you want to join in Discord chat. So you don't have to just type if you don't want to. You can also Discord me. Discord me? Discord me! Discord me! Bing. There we go. So you can just click on that link, join us up. Of course, Ginger, you already got an account anyway, so it's no big deal. Just come on into Discord. I'm in Discord right now, too. So you can talk to me through Discord. And yeah, the phones are on too, but I don't think there's too many people. Well, it's not really that bad. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a place to sleep. Silly babies. Well, those are like those little jelly beans, right? They're like basically gelled sugar. Sort of like dots, which is kind of like a soft thing. Well, let's put it this way, Arliven. As far as my apartment go, this place may be many old, but it's better than no place at all. At least I have a place to sleep every night. Can you send me some of that dinner you made? Well, maybe she can send you a recipe. I don't know about sending you the food to the post. Yeah, well, unfortunately, Patty doesn't even have that. I mean, so she's... Ed had a motorhome. And that was pretty good for him. A bachelor pad on wheels. That worked out well for Ed. But in some states, it's illegal to sleep in anything but a motorhome. And it's supposedly the way to criminalize homelessness, which is kind of bullshit because homelessness shouldn't be criminalized. I mean, I never saw any reason to do that. Because I know some people prefer living that way, and I know others that, because of reasons beyond their control, have accepted that as a way of life. And in both cases, you should have a little empathy for the people. It's not an easy environment to live in. I know for a fact Steve-O would understand that very well. Yeah, Steve-O. Where is Steve-O anyway? Number 23. He's on here. Yeah, I know. He's membership on my system. He's a membership on your system. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see what we're doing here. So. you stupid phone. Come on. Oh, at least you know it's playing fine. Yep, let's just check to see if it says playing. Ah! You stupid phone. Oh, at least you know it's playing fine. Okay, so anyway. The point is that number 23, I'm surprised he's not on today. Maybe he's got a lot more going on right now. Soup Kitchen's lunch was edible. It had broccoli, carrots, green beans, pasta, one medium hot sausage, one meatball, and rotini, and simple romaine lettuce, and a mushroom pieces. I didn't eat the mushroom pieces. Okay, Michelle, I only popped to say hi. I got to try to sleep. Have a good evening. Alright, I'll see you probably on Friday or Saturday. And don't forget, it's about 7 p.m. your time. So you and Critical Unity probably will be on more likely on Friday or Saturday this week. So for now, I hope to see you then. At least you didn't totally miss out on the session. I sent him an invite. You talking about number 23? Yeah, because if he subscribed to my channel, he did subscribe. If he didn't click on the bell, maybe he didn't know. If you click on the bell, you'll get an email notification. But if you don't click on the bell, which is optional, you don't get an email notification. So, for those of you who may have already subscribed and want to add the bell notifications to your system, you can go to Manage Subscriptions and you can add your bell icons, enable the bell icons for the different channels you want to be notified of for the content. I have Next News set that way, and I used to have Infowars set that way. And, it worked out pretty good for me. But, I don't want to get notified every single channel that comes in. I like to go through them when I'm bored. I like to do a scavenger hunt and dig around the videos. Alpha Wolf, how are you doing today? So Alpha Wolf says hello. Ring the bell. Well, ring the bell. You mean fine. By the way, I'm not going to bring it too much because it's too late. I found... So. I want to know how this would sound if I had even bigger calendars that they make. Like the really, really huge ones, like you see in some big food services ones, like the big 24-inch ones. Probably be a lot deeper peel. Well, I'm not going to channel Satan, but Mother can ask him but if you ask me, I can ask her and she can ask him. So, because I don't want to deal with Satan directly, because I already explained why. Or I could even answer the question, since obviously me and Michelle both know a lot about what's going on with the dark side. So ask your question, and we'll see if we can try to find you an answer within a reasonable period of time. Like in less than 5 minutes. Yeah, we can find out the answer in less than 5 minutes. There's no problem. OMG, says Alpha Wolf. OMG for what? Do Satanists secretly worship and sacrifice to Lucifer? It's not secret. Well, a lot of times it's actually publicly done in their ceremonies, but they also do it in private too. Remember when they were talking about spirit cooking? Yeah, that's a satanic ritual. Yeah, that is something they do because to the satanics, they see the body and blood and gore and guts as sacred. Energy can be achieved by sacrifice and by consumption of the blood and gore and guts. Ew. No, Michelle's strong enough to handle the devil, but Michele doesn't want to deal with the devil. There's a little different. We explained that at the beginning of the show. I definitely made a good choice, says Carla Kitty. Good choice to what, Carla Kitty? I need to speak of the demon at some point along when I've read. Maybe out on the world could recommend someone. Maybe. If he knows any demons that he can reach. I don't really know anybody right now to talk to about. James and D thing says, right, out on the wire, down by the river sky. Down by the river sky. Are demons good lovers? I wouldn't know about that. But many of them are basically very much narcissists. Definitely. And they love to brag about how good they are, just as their human counterparts do. One of the things is that they will do is to deliberately mislead the audience that they know, the people that they talk to. You all heard the stories about how the devil makes deals. Well, the demons have some authority through Satan to make deals too. But like a used car salesman, the truth is unless you look underneath the bonnet to find out exactly what the deal is, you may actually find out you're buying a car with no engine and no transmission. Ouch. Satan's always close by. He's always looking for souls to devour. Amen. Yeah, that's why we had to stay away from the guy. But I would honestly suggest, this is Michele talking now, is that if you're going to seriously want to talk to the dark entities, I would suggest to go with a professional that knows how to safely protect you from any phony baloney, like Pete would say. Yeah, well, they're creepy. The demonics are creepy. Like I said, would you want to trust a demon to sell you a used car? How much of the stuff that they're going to tell you is the truth? Not much. Technically, I'm not that much of a professional on the dark side, but I do have enough of knowledge of the dark side to know how to stay the hell away from it when I can. You see, I'm a light worker, not a dark worker. And almost all light workers, by their nature, need to know about how the dark workers work to help avoid people from getting stuck in something that they don't want to get stuck in. So, as I said, I'm a professional light worker, not a dark worker. I feel sometimes like what? Oh, I was just trying to see what's going on here. Like, seems like we missed a few messages. No, we're current. We are? Yeah, we're current. Just for those of you guys who didn't see the original invite, there you go. You can join that, and then you can always... that's what Demon said he was friends with Lumi. No, I don't think so. we're not friends with demons, and they're not friends with me or any of the light workers. We respectfully keep our distance. Yeah, we do. We don't want to get involved with that too much. Just like we see, no, I'm not a demon in disguise. Trust me. There's a difference. You can tell by their fruits, the way they carry themselves, the way they do things. Like Michelle gave with the used car salesman, it's the same way. Demons are always trying to sneak you into something that you shouldn't be doing. Right. Big difference. Unfortunately, I worry about Patty because one thing I mentioned earlier is that Patty's the kind of person right now who probably would do something exactly what Satan would want. Yeah, she'd probably say something similar to what was said in Oh God, You Devil. I would sell my soul to have a place to live. Really? Winnie, this one's protected by God. She's mine now. Very true. Actually, you can always look into both of our eyes because our eyes are interconnected. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I don't know where it says, hey, Cringe, almost ready to take the next step. Mr. Comey will be having a press release soon. Off of episodes, I love to watch porn. Am I possessed? No, you're just a normal male. That's pretty much just related almost to what we're going to be talking about on Cringe Report in a couple days ago. With was it that Rose woman? Oh God, yeah, the slut walkers. Yeah, they're gonna talk about that in Cringe Report. That's actually a pretty interesting concept about porn and promiscuity. However, we're going to be covering that in the 7th, and I don't want to give away too much of that. Let's just say what I saw made me a little more than annoyed. Yeah, so is sex. Unfortunately, that's part of the whole problem why Kavanaugh's got this issue is because the women are using sex as a weapon. A giant equivalent of using his own penis as a giant baseball bat. I saw a high Lich Eric blow a load into a skinny blonde one time. Oh, God. No, I'm not worried about it. I'm less worried about anything than anyone else should be because I have nothing to lose. Speaking of the fact that this Comey was disgraced by the FBI in the first place, yeah, and Andrew McCabe lost his pension because of the deep state and the actions that was done under his control of the FBI, I would say I'm not worried about it. The only thing I worry about, though, is if indeed they say that the FBI special investigation that was extended and what should possibly be already completed now is Or indeed we're going to get Kavanaugh nominated on Friday as Mitch McConnell wants to do, or are they going to, the Democrats are going to try to find a way to screw him again? Ouch. I don't think so. No, I don't think so either. After all, we're together for life and beyond life anyway. We're a couple, so it's not going to affect our relationship. It's just... That's one of the reasons why we're not really sure what the idea about relationships is, because we have not yet figured that one out. Lixor Mask says, is this the crazy guy in the dress coming onto your show, Michelle? Or will he be on Cringe Report? The crazy guy. You talking about Conflict Unity? He said that he will probably be on Friday or Saturday of this week, because it was too late for him to be on tonight because he has to go to work tomorrow. So he said he might be able to make it for Friday or Saturday because that's at 7 p.m. his time. One. Yeah, Michelle has it. Let's... how do I explain this? Just keep it that simple. We don't need to go into detail. This isn't Pornhub. That's okay. Yeah, well, if you study what's been going on in the Democrats, you know why I use that term. They have become amoral, unethical. They have demonstrated over again that they're willing to lie, cheat, and steal. They're willing to destroy the lives of innocent bystanders repeatedly. And that's why I use that term, because of what I see is exactly what they're doing. However, some Republicans, I have to be honest, are not always so good either. I'm sorry, Mr. Flake. You are definitely of questionable morality, but at least Donald Trump agreed with you this time about extending the special investigation. But seriously, a so-called never-Trumper who basically really doesn't want to see Donald Trump succeed is, well, let's put it this way. His judgment is questionable at best. Immoral like Trump. Actually, I don't think Donald Trump is really that bad. How his father did do some income tax practices that were definitely questionable. Did Donald Trump in the process use some of his father's techniques in his tax returns? It's possible. But like he said, one of the things about businesses is that we try to lower our tax liability. So the question is, did he use special loopholes to get away and get tax breaks? It's possible. But isn't it funny? He's the one who basically shut down most of the loopholes that he possibly used in the past. It doesn't really matter. Michelle won't be impeached anyway, because of one reason. There is no way to impeach Michelle. And nor is there a 25th Amendment of the Spiritual Constitution. No, and if there was, even if there was, that wouldn't meet the requirements. But we don't have one. We don't have one. In fact, people who actually know me at all know that I do my best to be a good example for all people to follow. Don't make me perfect, but it means at least I try, to set a good example. Besides, Michelle will still continue to be a teacher regardless. Who, me? Or are you talking about the attorney there, what's his name? Ali Nasra, or whatever her name is, he's going to get disbarred. You watch. It turns out that Sweatnick is a dishonest storyteller that can't even tell a straight story out of a paper bag. Nothing Sweatnick says makes a damn bit of sense. That's one of the reasons why they seriously can't depend on Sweatnick or even the Ramirez story for Kavanaugh. Because the fact is, it doesn't hold water or urine or blood or cum or anything else. Michelle, I'm concerned for you. I think the other way the stewards are working against you. Now, they just got enough to worry about working for themselves right now. With the grand solar minimum coming up, a lot of them are finding themselves having to deal with things that they can't directly control by themselves. Yes, as a group we can, but individually, what's going on with our sun is just too big. It's going to actually, literally, create a lot of havoc for everybody. You have to ask Mother Asna in prayer. That's how you do it. That's how you put in your application. It's a one-on-one application process. You have to ask in prayer. But Michelle can appoint people to help in a role. For example, like if she wanted to she has the right to create what they call like duchies and lordships or anything like that. Yeah, I could create a lordship or a duchy. Yeah, a duke or duchess. Yeah, I have the right to do that if necessary. I would do that. And also pray that the good spirit of the Lord, Father, and Mother God also give you a night's rest of happiness and bliss, just to be always safe and ask for their blessings. Of course, Kids Report, I'm just reading above the original from R11, said, I thought so too, OOTW. I don't know why she doesn't do her research. She just blabs off like she knows what she's talking about. Because Michelle does. Maybe she doesn't know everything, but there's some things that she studied so much that she has observed so many times what's going on. So she has personal experience watching what's going on. Michelle doesn't need a defense attorney. She already has one. Her guardian angel is her defense attorney. Jesus Christ of Nazareth is her defense attorney. Mother Asna is Michelle's personal spirit guide at this time. As she's mine, she actually serves as her defense attorney. There is no document like that. Okay, well, OOTW just proved you wrong and quoted the law, so you're wrong. Well, he didn't even tell you which guide that comes from. Yeah, which part. It's not of the USC. That would be the United States Code, so that ain't going to be on the USC. You ever see the second Oh God movie there? Well, actually, the first one was good too. When God actually goes and sees what's his name there from Food World there, played by John Denver. They gave me this whole list of questions. Aramaic, pretty cute. Can I get out of this? Yeah. Here, you're right when I tell you to take down. That was interesting. The one with the kid was cute too. The second one, oh God, the next book was cute. Mother Asna is also our spirit guide, and she has already said that she is not accusing herself. I can channel Jesus, sure. What would you like to ask him? Because he's pretty busy, so I'd have to ask if I could ask him ahead of time. Just do it, Michelle. You know how. I know how. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth. Brother. Okay. Keep performing over and over again. Is it the bylaws of the Weather Steward Code? The bylaws of the Weather Steward Code that Michelle's been telling you about does not exist in that form. It's very simple. All weather stewards are basically it's a privilege, not a right. People were selected based on the moral and their ethical view of the things that need to be done. They take responsibility for their actions and for the actions of how it affects other people. All weather stewards, by their nature, accept the fact is that their main goal is to do the best they can to provide and protect for people. One of the most important things that weather steward must not be is as you humans would say, a pompous asshole, which is exactly why Alexander Voskov was discharged, because he was a pompous asshole. Michelle is not that at all. I know, because I see Michelle do her workings, and I know Michelle. She tries really hard to do the right thing. Thanks, bro. You're welcome. Lexomask says, remember Michelle, when will you return and save us all? Soon. Because remember that it says that my Father is the only one who knows the time. I do not know the time. But I gave the signs and potents of what's going to happen. And I said that when you see these signs, be ready. Which were many of them. Such as men rising against men, men becoming lovers of unsafe things, unclean things, men starting wars and raising against brother, nation against nation. I would say the time is coming soon, and my Father is going to be giving me my marching orders soon. Amen. Amen to that. You work with Michelle, and you will be on the right path, so she'll keep you safe from all harm that has ever been done. But you must make sure to keep your eyes on the prize, which means in this case is you need to focus on the good things, the good people who love you, the angels, your guardian angels, the saints, the ones who have went before you, me. You must always keep in mind that I died for your sins and your salvation so that you can have eternal life. But you gotta believe in me. And that means not just saying I believe. It means believing deep down in your heart, in your soul, that you believe in me. For it was my dying on the cross at Golgotha, which would made it possible for you to have a chance to enter into the kingdom of heaven. That's one reasons why it is so important that you must always keep in mind that I died as a perfect, unblemished Paschal Lamb so that you can see the kingdom of heaven. Because I cleanse you of your sins. And then through your actions and through keeping my actions in memory of all the things I've done for you and holding me in your heart, you will be saved. You are being saved. Thanks. You're welcome. And Michelle, you're saved too. Even if the people on this channel don't believe it, you are saved. I look at all the people that come to me. I act as your defense attorney. I act as your liaison, your friend, your confidant, your supporter. I love all of you. And I want every single person to be happy. And you don't have to do anything special. But just keep me in your heart and in your prayers. And always keep the communications channel open by prayer to me. I'll be listening. I will respond to you in kind. And whatever means it takes to get through to you. Each person's different. Some may be a whisper. Some may be a touch. Some may be a breath. But I will be in contact with everybody. But you gotta hold my death and passion in your heart, because that is what the way means, is I died for you. It was an easier way for you to enter the kingdom of heaven, But remember it says, I did not come to abolish the Mosaic law or change one letter of the law, but to fulfill the law. And that is the reason why everybody who accepts me as their personal savior realizes I have bought you freedom from bondage. However, people have a free will too, and those people will often forget that they can sell themselves back into bondage. And it's really hard to get out of that bondage again. Amen. Amen. All right. Let's see. Jesus, I am in the right path. He says, gotta run, guys. I don't know. She keeps embarrassing herself, arguing with the god darn accountability chief. Great, thank you. I'm lucky to have met Michele then. Thank you. And you're welcome. See you, Nick. I don't know why it says, LOL, Michele has clearly not been headquarters. The bylaws are in the weather library signed by Mother Asna herself. Michele has been busy on Earth. She's more of a, what you call works more like from her home base. Unlike doing the equivalent of going to Washington, D.C. and sitting in a cushy office and having interns taking phone calls. Michele is on the scene 24/7. Well, no, not 24/7. I do visit the home office, but not much. I actually go at night when I'm sleeping. True. Michele had a really cool dream a couple days ago. Something to do with crystals. Clear crystals. Energy crystals. I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna go ask Mother if she can help me explain the energy crystal orbs I was thinking about in my dream last night. They were really cool, but they were energy, almost like a 0-point module or ZPM. They are like concentrated energy. Cool. No, Jesus is only preachy because you guys expect him to be preachy. For some people, that's what they expect Jesus to be, and Jesus is going to reach out to the people in a way that they expect him to come out with. For some people, Jesus, just by standing there on the edge of the bed, as he's done in Michele's room many times, just standing there in the bed and smiling and saying, "Hi, sis, how you doing?" He has done that. So it's Mother God. Critical Unity says, "Good evening, how you doing, dude?" Hoorah! Hey! So Critical Unity's on now, guys. I sent you a text message. I don't know if I sent it to the right person. It was someone named Tara or something on Skype. But I tried to find Critical Unity. I couldn't find Critical Unity. Actually, you're talking to me, Michele, Jesus. Yeah. Jesus is occasionally intercepting once in a while. No, they're on the other side. They're on the other side. They're not in Ohio. They're not in Idaho at all. They're not on Earth. They're actually at Mother God's temple. On the other side is where the headquarters are. And she also works with the Great Council, which is led by Malachi. Correct. Michele, okay. Critical Unity says, I am under your chair. What do you mean you're under my chair? Under whose chair? Idaho is on the other side, LOL. No, it's not on the other side. Oh, actually, they say that every place that's on Earth that was on Earth and could be on Earth is on the other side and duplicate. So yeah, he could be on the other side too. Yep, Skynet is here. You're here. I'm still trying to figure out if the critical person I sent you messaged you, if you got it on Skype, because I sent it to a guy named Tara something. I tried to find critical unity. I couldn't find critical unity. I only found someone named Tara. It looked like you. So I thought maybe it was you. I just said hello. Yeah, it said it's a Terra Incognita. Terra Incognita. Who is Terra Incognita? It looks just like you. I wasn't sure if that was the right person, but that's who I sent it to. So I just said, just saying hi. That's all I said. If you want to send me a message, you can do that too. I am everywhere I am as, and so are you, God. Yes, we all have parts of the Godhead in us. That's true. He says, let's see. Critical unity says we are all one. Every particle is connected, so I'm not the only one under your chair. I am in your chair. And you too, and you are me too. Wonder what that would do for sex. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, well, I sent you a message. But I didn't get a response yet. So you can just send me hello when you want. You don't have to get, fancy. Just say hi back. Well, I think he means that by the spiritual energy of all spiritual form, because our souls are energy, is that our soul's energy exists in all planes of existence. I think that's what he means. Think about what the ether is for a minute. Let's talk about that. I mean, when you talk about the energy, okay, let's give it something form that people can understand. Okay, all souls, all spirits come from Source. Source is Father and Mother God, and from them, all of us were created. All energy was created. Think of a giant spiritual radio transmitter. And all our energies were projected forward by them into the ether. That is what he means by we pervasively are in everything. Unlike radio waves, however, the inverse squared law does not take place because our energy is just as strong if we are a meter away or a million meters away. We are the same dB strength as we were no matter what the distance is. And there's a cord that attaches us to Source that can be yanked back if we stray too much. The cord is infinitely stretchable. That's what affects the soul. That's what keeps us together. But there's also, of course, even the souls in the left to the left door are still connected to Source. It's just that they can't return to the other side because they are corrupted. They can't return to Source until they are made pure. Thus, the power of spiritual purgatorium. That's the place where we go when we have to basically be spiritually cleansed and made pure to enter back into the other side. I know, you're going to think it's Catholic teaching. Yeah, well, Catholics got it right here about purgatory. Purgatory is real. I've been there. I know. I've done plenty of my stays in purgatory. I know what it's like. Think of it like a Grand Central Terminal. You're in a train station, okay? And you want to get home really bad. And the conductor says to you, I'm sorry, but your train is going to be delayed. And you're like, for how long? I don't know. They didn't tell me yet. They just said that your train won't be here for a while. So you sit there and you're on the train's on the bench and you're going, in this case, since it's a purgatorium, this is when you begin to ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Why am I actually sitting at the Grand Central Terminal? Why am I not on a fast Amtrak Acela back home? What did I do wrong? How can I make it right? So it's that time when we are praying and we ask for the spirits to help cleanse us so that we can catch the next train home. And that's why a purgatorium is important. It gives us that chance to finally get those last things and niggling little issues straightened out that are holding us back. This is a big difference than those who go straight through the left door, the express lane to hell. Or Sheol, the grave, actually. Right. Those people go straight from grave to cradle. They don't even have a choice of what their future is. They are basically given their marching orders, and that's it. That's the way the dark side works it. Okay, soldier, you're dead. Now, okay, you're going to be born again. You know, you're going to be another baby in another time. Scary. I wouldn't want to be that way. That's why we don't want to, because we know and we accept that that's not exactly what we want. And trust me, I'd rather be sitting in purgatory than going to hell. Any day. And it says, let's see, I hope you're not so much here. Unmute, that's what Jetty's how critical mute. R11, can Jesus back here to explain? Is Ocasio-Cortez corrupted? Her mentality, her theme, her concepts are corrupted. And so in that case, she has, it's her thought process that's corrupted. But as far as the person, is she corrupted? Is she full of sin? I can't say. But I will tell you one thing, from what I know about her, she's not the poor little socialist that you think she is. She has good teeth, for one thing. Ain't that the truth? And when will her nudes leak? What? Critical Unity says, did you ever have an Atari or Nintendo? I enjoy playing Asteroids and other games. Adventures and surplus. Surprise opening a game you got from Zellers and popping in either. Yeah, I had an Atari 2600. I also had a Commodore 64, but I got a Commodore 64 in high school. I started out with a Timing Sinclair 1000, which is kind of like, I guess you could say, the 1980s version of the Raspberry Pi. It was just less capable. Ain't that the truth? All right, let's first phone call of the night. Go ahead, call you on the air.
Wow.
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing what?
I got some noise in the background.
What's up?
So how you doing?
Oh, hey, it's you. I thought it was just...
Was this
I
critical?
thought maybe I had got the wrong fucking number.
Oh, this is Critical Unity, huh?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm fucking... Well, I'm sorry with the F-bomb. I'm absolutely wonderful. How you doing?
Your choice of the F-bomb gave you away.
I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
Just a little thing.
I'm hoping in the near future that when I get a chance, we're going to get, when we get the newer Mac, we're going to see if we can get Skype working and maybe set up a UK phone number so you can call it toll-free.
Oh, here's the thing. I don't even know if you've got your channel monetized. I mean, I think they changed the rules where you have to have, like, at least 1,000 subscribers and, 1 million people watching per week and all these other constraints, which basically has ruined the potential proliferation and any possibility, basically, of small channels making money. So I don't know if your channel is monetized or not, but again, it's about putting the message out there.
Whoa. Can you slow down a little bit? My brain
is... A little bit does help. What?
Okay.
I just want to finish my point, though. With the F-bomb, don't, maybe, I don't know, maybe if it is monetized, then...
Well, I got a Raspberry Pi, too, but like I said, right now, I'm not using it at this moment because I think something went wrong with the Ethernet port on it, but I'm not sure because it was no longer connecting to my hub anymore. I didn't do any hardware damage to it. It just stopped working. I think it more might be the operating system that may have gotten corrupted, actually. But,
what are you talking about?
so I was going to reflash, put a new copy of the Raspberry in on a 32 gigabyte SD card, but right now I'm using the SD card in my Android phone. So, you know, I got to get another SD card for the Raspberry Pi. But I'm thinking about maybe go for the Raspberry Pi 3 or Raspberry Pi 3B. But the problem is those guys get really, really toasty hot. So,
I'm setting up a Pi 1 because it can still run like really old systems like Commodore 64, VIC-20, all the Ataris, everything up to pretty much like most Super Nintendo games and some Sega Genesis games are a bit choky on the old Pi. Like I got one really cheap on eBay for like £5, just about $7.
By the way, speaking of Pi, somebody brought this up as a joke. I'm going to throw this at you. You ever hear of the Pi Project?
What?
The Pi Project.
Nope.
Oh, and the joke one is you stick your pecker in a pie, like a raspberry.
Holy fuck, what?
Yeah. But actually, the Pi Project actually has to do about personalities. Personal artificial intelligence, which is the real Pi Project, which has to do with PAI, not PIE. And you don't stick a pecker in a PAI. I don't think you do anyway. No, you stick your personality in it. You stick your whole personality. Yes.
Okay, can you just please right now? I'm just wondering, what is your drug of choice?
What's that?
What is your drug of choice?
Android.
No, your drug of choice. Like, what are you talking? What? Your pecker and a pie? What, are you on crack? No, I'm not being funny. I am trying to be funny, but honestly, it may be a possibility. Like, what do you mean, stick your pecker in a pie? What do you get out that? What's going on?
Oh, anyway. So one of the things I wanted to ask you is you're in Manchester, England.
Question. What are you talking about? Stick your pecker in a pie? You got to be kidding, right? Oh no, so yeah, you want anyway? Just go ahead. Never mind.
I think they're kidding. I don't know. Maybe they're serious.
Everyone's wondering what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't think you want to stick your pecker in a Raspberry Pi 2B when it's on because your people get a nice burn mark from the CPU running at 1 gigahertz processors.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason the fucking thing is very power hungry, but it's good for emulating, fucking systems that are like, fucking Sega Dreamcast and fucking some other shows. Sorry with the, it's just gonna happen. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Anyway. It is a word. It's a word.
Let me ask you a question. I wanted to ask you this a couple days ago, but by the time you and I talked after the show, you were so sauced. I didn't even get a chance to get a word in. You were just too blitzed. All right, so here I'm going to ask this before you get too blitzed. Is you got into Manchester, England because you got involved with a relationship with somebody, if I got that part right, and it didn't work out. Now you've been there for 6 years. And now you told me you kind of want to return back to Canada.
Yeah, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta get the hell out of here, sir.
Well, you still have a work visa, right? You still have a visa to work in the UK, right?
No, I'm actually what it is my mother was born in England.
Well, you know what? Here's what I would do. If you don't have a work visa, why don't you go to the Home Office and say I'm illegal, deport me. That might be the fastest way to get sent home. In a jail cell. That's no problem.
I did contact the Canadian embassy and everything, and it's just they were like super weird. Like they were saying, "Oh, you need to prove that like 5 members of your family and 5 friends cannot help you." I mean, like if they could help me, if I could get out of here myself. I would. I mean, I can. I just do need to be stronger. I do need to stop spending so much money on alcohol. But even if I would save and not drink so much, it would still take me about a year.
So right now, here's the question: Are you actually a legal immigrant into the UK right now, or are you an illegal immigrant?
I've been here basically for too long, but like since
So you're kind of in limbo.
I got a British passport. My mother is British.
Oh, if you got a British passport, then you're legal. Yeah.
And I married this woman that I met on Facebook. Just weird way. I don't know. We weren't. I wasn't necessarily looking for someone, but it just happened, and she came over a few times.
Okay, so right now your biggest problem is it's funding. It's just getting back to Canada. It's going to cost you. You don't have money because taking a plane or if you're going to take a transatlantic ship, it's going to cost you money.
Yeah, basically need. I don't know. Like the cost of plane ticket is approximately $400 to $600. Then I need money to rent an apartment when I get there. I mean, we're good. I don't know.
How much you pay? How much you pay a rent in your apartment in Manchester? How much in pounds is it you pay a month for your rent?
It's a weird thing they got here. It's housing benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's not like in Canada. I'm not sure how it is in the United States. I've never lived in the United States, but in Canada, like with welfare, they send you a check or they do a direct deposit, and you simply got to return a little paper, and it's being dependent on anyone, but especially the bloody government, man. It's the last friggin' thing that I want, and just
number 23's here. That's cool.
Having to make it so
Steve-O's
funny.
here.
What?
The guy in Network 23 Studios, he's on now. He's one of the regulars. Excuse me. He's on the Cringe Report. He's on the channel right now too. You want to say hi to him? And of course, Jin's here. I'm here. Out on the Wire's here. R11HG0 here. Living Golden's here. Yeah, it's just water though. Yeah, critical. He drinks the hard stuff. I don't. Right. Michelle got calls about bi masturbation months ago. Yep. They did. So. Anyway, if you guys want to join us in chat, you can do that. I'm going to send this link out to the audience again. This is the easiest way to be part of the chat because I only have one actual dial-up phone line, and you can click on that too. Critical Unity, that is a direct link to my Discord channel. You just click on that and join, and then you can join us on Snow Queen Radio Chat, which is open right now, so you can actually talk to us through that way too, instead of using the phone. Whichever one you want.
Why don't you do some fucking prank calls?
What's that?
Why don't you do some prank calls, man?
Well, it's just this way, because I only have one landline I'm talking to you on. We only have one line, so if, like I said, if anybody else wants to join in the chat, they can join in through the Discord, and then we can have multiple people talking at one time. That's kind of cool.
All right. Hey, I'm going to set up. I'm going to get some other Raspberry Pis. I'm going to get friggin'. I'm going to line my whole walls full of Raspberry Pis. I'm going to collect them all, as many as I can, and I'm going to put them all over my wall like a nutcase. And if one fails, well, you can use another, and I can start using them as clusters. I'm going to be like the guy from, A Beautiful Mind, but instead of putting up little weird pieces of paper like this weird article that has come up. Have you ever read this thing? I can't. I'd love to post it in the chat, but unfortunately, the New World Order controlled Google. YouTube, owned by Google. New World
You know what?
Order.
There's one thing about
It
the
will not
UK
let
that's
me-
really neat. You know what that is? Is that you got a very thorough mass transit system, which makes it great for the handicapped and the blind because you can take a train almost anywhere. And it also has a nice chunky 240 volts, 50 cycles power too. So in other words, those angry pixels from a young electrical receptacle will basically really seriously make it glow.
Right.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, the New World Order controlled website here will not let me post the link to Mother Jones. Let me just read the headline. It says here, political extremists are using YouTube to monetize their toxic ideas. And there's another similar article which is very bizarre. It has like them kind of like like the usual image of a conspiracy theorist, like being all crazy and connecting all these different things. And they literally have this image of connecting all these people. And there's a YouTuber called Some Black Guy. That's literally the name of his friggin' channel, and he's a black guy. And they're saying that all these people are alt-right, and that's now connected with racism and just totally extreme nationalism. Like basically, they're saying they're lumping us all in. Anyone speaking out against the establishment is a racist, a dangerous person. That's what they're doing. This is libel. This is slander, and these people need to be charged. Man, this is crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, is there anything specifically about the UK that you like or don't like? I guess you said Sunday. You said there were things you didn't like, but is there things about the UK you do like?
Let's see. Well, I don't know. If you watch my videos, you'll kind of get the impression that I really hate it here, and I kind of do. But when I travel down south, it's very nice, and it's almost like I've been to Devon, Teignmouth, or Muse. The band grew up, and oh man, it's got so many stories. It's just a few years ago, I had a confrontation with some kids that were like, I feel sorry for them. They're all like, saying some crap to me, calling me a tranny, and I just was under a lot of stress at the moment. I had a lot to drink as well, and I just burst out, and I used to ignore them because I know that they're trying to get a reaction. I just friggin', just gave it, let it out, And the next, I think that night, it was that night, a rock came flying through my window. It could have killed me if I didn't, if I stayed on the computer for even more, than 30 more minutes. But I just decided to, give it a rest with editing. I was editing this, whatever video, and I thought, I'll be able to do this more efficiently if I get some more sleep. Continue. And anyway, so I quickly posted about, friggin' rock came through my window, friggin' plates were there, and one of my friends on Facebook offered me to go down to Devon, and it was great. It really, despite the fact that I was thinking, this is crazy, I gotta get the hell out of here. I was very grateful for experiencing, a nicer area, but it was very bizarre because I took the bus, the mega bus, and on my way down, it was kind of like a gradient. I get to friggin' Birmingham, and it's like a friggin' dump. A mix between Manchester and London, kind of But then I get through to London, and it's a bit better, but still really kind of crap, you know. Then the bus got down to Bristol, where my grandmother was born, and it was a bit better. But then when I get to Devon, it was great, huh? But then when I had to come back here, because I was actually planning on never coming back, you know, to this friggin' place, and it really sucked to come back. And I do think I should go back down there, you know, before we go back to Canada and experience, you know, because everyone was just so much nicer, you know. They're like, you know, open flamers running around. I mean, you know, just people were accepting and just, you know, really just nice people. And the weed was like 1,000 times better than the garbage around here, you know. But that's honestly one of the reasons why I drink too much is because I can't get problems. Like, you know, anyway. But yeah, the thing is, like, when I had to come back here, because I forgot some sentimental things, like photographs and all that, I found out that Muse had you can look it up, you know, it's in the papers. Muse revisited Tinmouth to say hello. They were on their way to some gig or tour or some, and I could have met them if I was, you know, by the whatever you call it, the dock or the port at that time when they were there. I mean, it would have been awesome, man, because they you know, they openly speak out about the New World Order. And anyway, let me just read the chat. What's going on? I'm gonna shut up now. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but like England, let's say it's a nice place. It's like a kind of energetic, like an energy of magic or something. It sounds like, it's hard to describe, but you know, a lot of artistic people, a lot of great musicians that come out of here, you know. You know, the Smiths, Morrissey, like loads of people, man. You know, a lot of great electronic musicians. And I thought, you know, didn't work out with my relationship. I could probably meet and network with some people. And I started doing that, made a few songs and tracks. Like, you know me as, you know, with prank calls, but mainly my main interest is making music. And
let me ask you
but what I hate about
questions.
this place also is mainly, hold that thought. I just want to finish this last thing. There's nettles, this weird these plants, and I like to go hiking because there's loads of wonderful places to have a nice walk. And my neighbor gave me this camcorder, and I'm going to do more videos from, you know, outdoors and shit. But when you go hiking and stuff, and if you don't have long socks, there's these horrendous plants that they're called nettles, and they friggin' like, they make you itch like crazy. And someone told me that there's another plant that usually resides next to where nettles grow, and you just got to grab one of their leaves and rub it where the nettles are, and, you know, it'll help out. So I guess that's maybe God's way of saying, I'm sorry, I'm such a moron and kind of fucked up there. I mean, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I made animals that shit all and piss all over the place. We need to consume each other to survive and kill, and it's kind of weird. But, you know, maybe plants, I don't know, kind of messed up there. But yeah, you got this other plant right next to the nettle where you can rub. And anyway, sorry, go ahead. What did you want to ask?
I was just going to ask you a couple questions because I don't really know. I'm not to go with very long sentences because my brain gets kind of overwhelmed, but I'm going to just ask you some simple questions. As first of all, is when you're in Manchester, which you mentioned the Beatles there, because you know something about the Beatles. Obviously, that was one of their home bases. Do the people in the
Beatles, but obviously, you know, it's just they're going.
Okay, well, do the people in the UK kind of really get to know each other like we do in the United States, where they sit down and talk to each other, or do they tend to stay to themselves? I've heard some people say that they don't really like to interfere with other people's lives or even say hello too much to other people. They don't call them hello, they say, "Are you okay?" That's actually their intro. "Are you okay?" I wonder how I would respond to that.
Yeah, it was really friggin' bizarre. When I first got off the train, there was two kids that just started laughing and pointing at me because I was struggling with, like, you know, two massively heavy suitcases, but everyone else, when we were walking, you know, back to her place, they were all like, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, am I all right? But do I look like I'm not all right?" I mean, but that's what they say. No matter what, no matter when.
Basically, the way they say it is just kind of like, "How are you?" Like we say here in the United States, "How are you?" It's kind of the same thing. But it's like an intro. It's not just like, it's not like, "Hello," and they say, "Are you all right?" That's what their intro is from the very beginning. "Are you all right?" It's like,
yeah, but it's kind of weird though. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I feel like what? Is there fucking blood coming out of like, part of my body? Is like, what's going on? What am I gonna do? A double take and check myself out? What do I not look all right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm all right. I mean, are you all right? Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, are you expecting that everything's supposed to be so shit? Everyone's fucking, you know, suffering from the crimes against humanity and the government's control that they gotta like be all like, you know, concerned about. I mean, you know what it is? It's this subconscious feeling that they don't care, you know? So they're overly putting it on that they care about your well-being. Which everyone's kind of been programmed to be selfish. They don't care if you're all right, you know? Maybe that's a really cynical view on it, but I'd love to know the origin of why people in the UK just feel the need to burst out and say, "Oh, you're all right." I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm all right. I don't really think you care, but I mean...
Well, speaking of the UK, I watch BigClive.com, which is from Scotland and Isle of Man. But I never hear much about Wales. What is the country of Wales like in the UK?
I don't know. My mom was born there, but I've never been there. I hear that it used to be wonderful and beautiful. Probably, you know, up in the hills and the mountains. Obviously, it must still be like Scotland and many other places, even here. I mean, it's very spectacular scenes here. You know, there's close to I forget what it's called, but it's the area where there's a guy who used to get prank called loads, man. Man, what is it? The respectable gentleman. That's you know the key word to type in to find that guy. But yeah, I live near that area. It's a wonderful, you know, beautifully wonderful place. But the government establishment have taken, essentially a large morsel of excrement upon things here. Let's see. There's some nice food, but I really hate that there's no dill pickle. I'm craving for 6 goddamn years for a dill pickle. My mouth is salivating right now thinking about it, as well as poutine, which is, if you don't know, but I don't know, I mean, whatever. Friggin' French fries with gravy and melted hard cheese. Oh, man, that's nice. There's none of that here.
Oh.
So the first thing I'm going to do when I get back, I'm not going to be kissing the ground. I'm going to have someone there with a jar of dill pickles. I'm going to open that jar, and I'm going to eat the entire jar immediately when I get off the plane. And I want it to be filmed. I mean, you know, it's got to happen.
Now, obviously, when you first got there, you also had to deal with a lot of other challenges too, like getting used to the money was different, where everything's in pounds and pence instead of dollars and cents, which is far cry from what it was prior to 1972, when it was pounds, pence, and shillings, which they don't use anymore.
Yeah.
Then, of course, you also got the electrical voltage, where those extra chunky pixies coming from a yon receptacle from the wall with the 240 volts and 50 cycles. Did you have any hard time getting used to such high, dangerous pixies coming out of a wall receptacle?
Oh, it's another weird-ass thing.
The electrical system over there is so cool. I love British plugs. I actually did a whole video on British plugs. I made an adapter to convert from American plugs to British plugs. I didn't get it by the step-up transformer yet. That's different. I'm going to be buying that in maybe about a year. Right now, I got to get the Mac first, then I'll get the power transformer.
Right. Well, the one thing I thought was kind of weird is mainly, I mean, you know, even before I moved here, I learned that the voltage in England is it's like double the amount. Like, oh, what? Why? It's like anyway. The plugs, they're interesting. I don't love them.
The plugs are totally awesome because
the switches. You know, the switches on the plug.
Yeah, the switches on the outlets.
It's kind of like
that is so cool. That's a real. People don't realize if you want to talk about getting rid of vampire loads, there's your solution. Just push the little switch on the wall outlet, and you de-energize the outlet. Thus, no vampire loads sucking a little milliwatts of energy out of your receptacle. And of course, you know, each plug is a fuse in it too, which I think is fantastic because, you know, here in the United States and in Canada, you can often find people plugging in extension cord after extension cord after extension cord. And then, of course, they get hot and they start to melt and fires start. I want
to hang an extension cord around my...
I mean, they make extension cords, so seem pretty
right
okay. But they have a 13 amp fuse in them.
No, just kidding. No, the one thing I really like about the friggin' you know, plugs here is they got little switches on them, and it reminds me that, you know, the nanny state here, the government, the UK, they care about us so much. Yeah, there's no outcry about there still being fluoride in the water and all sorts of other things. Pollution being pumped into the air and planes spraying the sky with chemtrails. Let's be super conscious. I'm surprised there isn't two switches on the light switches. So they gotta pretend they care so much about our health and safety. They might as well slap on 10 switches on the. But I am being a bit too cynical here. I do have to say, I do appreciate the switch on the light switches, the plug sockets here, because it's interesting. It's cool. And it does, serve a function. I mean, for instance, the Raspberry Pi, unless you have a switch in line with the power cord, right? You either need to unplug it, right? But with the switch here, just, you got your switch, right?
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's just a really cool system. And in fact, the UK plug is actually considered to be one of the best safety plugs in the market. There's receptacles in the UK that really protect your kids. You don't even need those safety outlet guards that they buy. In fact, they shouldn't even use those because, in other words, it activates the shutters and then the slide into the garden because it attaches to the earth pin, which is bad. You just basically leave the child-proof covers off, and that's fine. If you're really truly worried about it, you could just cover the outlet up with a piece of tape or something if you aren't really worried about your kids sticking things in. But the two safety shutters close, so they can't actually get a nasty jolt. We're starting to get that in the United States, but it's not there yet. And a lot of older houses don't have those safety shutters in the outlets. In Finland, they do. In Finland, they have some of the same safety systems with safety shutters on the outlets, too.
Yeah. I'm just noticing here in the chat, there's some clown that thinks that I am not a 38-year-old man who can actually, have some discernment and realize the difference between chemtrails and contrails, okay? I remember in approximately, mid-90s.
Yeah, they'll often add chemicals into the exhaust gases from an engine to do things like cloud seeding for weather modification or to possibly make the sky lighter to reflect more sunlight back out into space.
Okay, well, what I was going to continue saying is ever since about approximately the mid-90s, I've seen planes leaving trails that would dissipate up to approximately 20, basically short, 20 lengths of a plane or something, and modern jet engines also shouldn't be leaving large trails, and I've actually filmed on my channel here blatant starting and stopping out of the air, and there's no way you can say it's just atmospheric conditions because it's so abrupt. The sudden appearance of a massive trail, and some of these planes have left no trail at all, and then suddenly they're booming out a trail that goes for miles. Come the hell on, dude. And it's an openly stated plan, They say it's to deal with global warming, and meanwhile, the aerial spraying is.
I'll be right back. I gotta go take a restroom break, so I'll be right back. But you can keep talking, and I will catch up with you when I come right out of the ladies' room. Okay?
All right, hurry up, because
okay, right back.
Myself, but why don't you do what I do? I got a little bottle usually, and I piss right into it live on cam. I don't give any amount of rest.
I don't have anything like that. Sorry. Besides that, that'd be.
Why don't
so I'll be right back, and then I'll be right back. So you can keep talking. I'll be right back because we got some other people that might want to talk now. Be at peace, Joyce. Join us, and you can answer some questions and stuff at the same time. I'll be right back. Okay, 1 moment.
All right, cool. I just want to say to Network 23 that it's just the way I speak, and I'm not being disrespectful. And you're a clown, maybe, I don't know. Don't want any misunderstandings, but I do understand how there can be misunderstandings. I mean, I don't know. Most people don't have the time to look up at the sky and notice that things are a little bit different. Things are a little bit weird. Planes are leaving trails, horizon to horizon. And, if you hover your mouse pointer over my name, if you haven't figured it out already, there's like 3 little dots there. Click on that, and then right-click on the option Go to Channel. You can check out my channel, subscribe to me, see all the weird shit that I put out there. And what I do mainly is kind of like a therapy thing, especially now. I think I can prove that. It started as simply an impossibility. I'm morally incapable of not speaking out about these things. It's like, if you heard that your neighbors, you don't even need to know them. But if you heard, hypothetical situation, that your neighbors are under the threat of just horrible things, yeah? And it was a conspiracy that was against them, would you just say, to the people that gave you the inside information to try and help them, would you tell them, oh, you're just a crazy conspiracy theorist, I'm not going to look into that possibility? You might just, it may be a good idea just to give it the benefit of the doubt to look into these things, Anyway, Michelle is back.
Yeah,
hey, show us your teddy.
Sorry about that. I washed my hands before it came out. So, yeah, I don't think a pisser would do me any good, really, seriously. The fact is that number one is I don't think it would work out too well. Anyway, so
we can't see shit. You got to position your camera properly. All we can see is your ear. There you go.
Video Peace, by the way, brought up something which is related to the Rothschilds, which I thought was kind of interesting. He would bring up about the Rothschilds and the European Central Bank and things, including the Bank of England. What do you think the Rothschilds and Juniper is up to in the EU? I got a feeling that they're gonna do everything they can to screw up the Brexit, especially Brexit. Do you think they would make sense if they just went ahead and just let the UK, through Theresa May, just go ahead and activate Article 50 in this GTFO, or do you think they really don't want the UK to leave the EU?
Well, the thing is, the EU is just one of these steps. There's basically we get 25% or greater close to a world government. We've got a North American Union going. We're at about 75% to a world government. All we need after those are set in place is for a fake alien invasion, which will be done by using the reverse-engineered alien craft that have been reported by many people on the inside of NASA, in the military. I mean, in the Disclosure Project, it's really what mainly woke me up. Something of such friggin' profound, just amazingness strikes you as like, wait, this can't be real. But then when you look into it, yeah, these people did work at NASA. This guy talking about seeing objects traveling off, doing thousands of miles an hour, going, doing right-angle turns, being tracked on radar. They got the tapes, the VHS cassette tape. But Disclosure Project, 2001 press conference is what really, it's profound, And there's a guy called Gary McKinnon who hacked into NASA, who talked about seeing, documents about non-terrestrial entities, and it's just friggin' insane.
One of the things I noticed about the EU is that they seem to really want to stick the political fingers in the UK's eye big time, saying like you can't fish in certain water, you can't do certain things. They're even trying to tell the UK that you have to ban toasters. Like,
yeah, it's a tyranny. It's not good. I mean, it's a bad thing. But the thing is, it's also tied into getting people to fuel the divide and conquer thing of different races and religions, because once the EU gets to be an issue in people's minds, they suddenly see it as, oh, fucking hell. They start looking around. They're like, there's all these immigrants, and holy fuck, And England's being invaded and taken over by, like, you know, these people who like, you know, they get, some of them may be a bit extreme, I don't know, do things like rape and torture young boys and girls for 10 years in a little town, you know, and people did nothing about it, of course, and I'm not joking. This is something you can look up.
I mean, like, first of all...
No, I got to finish this point. It's very important. For fear of being called racist, fucking rapists and murderers torturing young children. I know it's very fucking dark, okay? But this is part of their engineered division and divide and conquer. They created all the major religions in Iraq, okay? In the Middle East, the reptilian bloodlines to divide and conquer. This fucking was check out the Barcelonian agreement, all this shit. I mean, we obviously need to, you know, not be racist and welcome people, and it's great to have multiculturalism and learn about different cultures. It's, you know, one of the reasons why people travel, and I mean, but this is by design. It's designed to fucking cause, you know, the excuse for more control. In every fucking possible way. They want to bring in a world government, and they're going to fucking fake an alien invasion soon.
I mean, we were starting to get, in the United States, we were starting to get to the point where we were saying oh, well, because we know better than you, we're going to ban all incandescent light bulbs over a certain wattage, and we're going to put all these CFLs and these curly spiral things in your outlets that contain mercury and poisons. And that is how it destroyed my right eye, especially, was all that ultraviolet coming out of those cheap bulbs. And of course, that really didn't help.
Use fucking regular incandescent lamps.
I mean, the LEDs are better, but I still use incandescent studio lights. But in the summertime it gets so hot in here with around, that's why I leave them off.
LEDs for like hallway lighting or something, but incandescent for your regular, like, you know, living room or bedroom places where you spend most of your time. Or, you know, bathroom LEDs, I don't know. So yeah, continue.
First of all, here's the thing. That's the reason I get so mad about this, about the so-called light bulb ban. We are sort of in the United States. Donald Trump is kind of like, hey, you know what? You have the right to use whatever you want, which is true. Of course, now, of course, all the manufacturers got LED, which is better, but, you know, I don't think it's as good as the incandescents for some things. But for example, why does it matter how you toast your bread, for example? I mean, like, really, just lots of ways you can toast your bread, but the toaster is a convenient way of doing it.
Toasting bread.
I mean, first of all, sure, you can put it in a broiler in your oven, turn your oven on, broil, and basically consume about 5,000 watts in the process. Or you can go ahead, like one woman did, put it into a cast iron skillet and basically brown the bread one side at a time. All that just so you can spread butter and Marmite on it. Jesus Christ. It's true. I really think that's kind of stupid when the government tries to tell you that you can't do things that almost are nonsensical. And that's one of the things that we wanted to get rid of the NWO in the United States. For the exact reason, we don't really appreciate people telling us how we're going to cook our bread or how we're going to light our homes.
Yeah, people fucking getting arrested for collecting rainwater. Old news, but I mean, it happened, you know, fucking... Excuse me. Fucking Skynet says, what about needing to register your TV? Like, no, there's a thing called TV license policeman. Okay, I got a TV, right? If we were, you know, set up properly, like, I'm going to have you on my show some other time when I get more organized. I'm thinking of making a proper schedule. And I was going to say previously that, you know, I do what I do just because I feel I need to, you know, and it would be stupid to not. You know, having some donations and revenue from ads, it would help, you know, especially since I run a website, which costs, you know, for hosting and all that. And it's just so boring having to explain, but I've been completely demonetized. I got a lovely email from YouTube. Just check my previous uploads. I made a video about it, saying that it's because of duplication, because I re-uploaded the Joe Rogan show and when Alex Jones was on. And I mean, things like Unacknowledged, you guys got to check out Unacknowledged. If you still have access to torrents or pay for it on YouTube or whatever, order the DVD. I don't know, but it really towards the last half of Unacknowledged again by Stephen Greer. It's a really great documentary which they talked about, the suppression of clean, free energy technology, and it really breaks my heart to see such, great potential being hindered. I mean, I look around and I see like people just so unfulfilled, and I think about how things really could be and should be, and it really honestly should be, never mind, like a festival or a rave. Things could be even better than that. It could be, paradise, utopia, but it's not. And
yeah. Our 11-H-3-0 wanted to remind you that next Saturday, the Country Report would welcome you to be part of the program at 9 p.m. That would be about 2 a.m. your time. If you're up at 2 a.m. and that's on a Saturday, so which means
I'll try and join them. But I didn't finish though. I just want to just finish about the TV license police thing. It's really, really weird here in the UK, right? They send you these letters, and check out. I've made some videos about it, where they threaten you with a fine and cause you even more stress because they're saying you need to have a license, and they automatically assume that you got a TV. I mean, it's so freaking weird, and that the TV license thing in England has been a thing for a while, and it honestly is so friggin' fucked that it should have only lasted for a little bit. People should have been, I don't know, maybe rub a couple brain cells together and be like, wait, what? This is harassment. You can't have this, company going around, I mean, but it's gone on, and the people have let the government pass laws a couple of years ago that made it so that if you consume or if you're found with psilocybin, magic mushrooms, you're going to be thrown in a cage for 7 years for daring to expand your consciousness. The very least thing that this planet needs. I mean, in this last closing window of opportunity to change things. I mean, I mean, I don't watch TV, man. I got a TV. I use it for a monitor. I called them up. I'm like, how dare you harass me and cause me stress? I'm gonna sue them if they send me another letter. I mean, everyone should. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, let me ask you one last. Because I know it's late for you. You said you got to go to work in a little bit, and it's like for you. It's like right now. It's like 9:21. It's like, oh my God! It's like 2 a.m. for you. So obviously, I don't know what time you have to go in, but obviously, I do want to appreciate you for being on the show because I didn't expect you were going to be on because you said to me earlier that you had to go to sleep so you can get to work. So here's a quick question for you. If I ever wanted to go to the UK and apply for a visa to work in the UK, is it hard for me to get a visa to work in the UK, or would it be relatively easy?
I'm not really sure, but I don't have a visa. Just like I said, I'm a dual citizen. I was married to someone who lives here, but that's not. I mean, I still could have, come here as long as you're here for 3 months and you have some connection to the UK. Then what it is, you have to apply for a right to reside. This is what it was called. So got the documents. Alex Jones says, got the documents, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so, anyway, yeah, it's been nice chatting with you. I gotta go as well, yeah, for sure. I'm trying to wake up early. Tomorrow, I'm gonna document my expedition. I'm gonna force myself. I'm gonna have just 3 hours sleep. I'm gonna get out there. It is mushroom season, and there is scientific studies that prove that it helps cure depression and addiction. And despite any, government things, we have to realize that the universe or God, whatever it is, made these substances to be used. And I'm going to use them in a proper setting and finally cure myself. I've been abusing, as you said, right? I've been abusing alcohol. I drink too much, and it's got to stop. So I'm going to go mushroom picking tomorrow. How does that grab you?
Yeah, it's just interesting. I was just saying, as we were just talking about, if I was to go to the UK, I would have to give up my role as a North American snow queen, because obviously I wouldn't be in North America anymore. And that territory is Phrygia's, and I can't be on Phrygia's turf. She was pretty clear about that. Yeah, I know where I live, and I know what you're saying. But I think one of the biggest things that is holding me back, and more than anything, is my current location, which has no mass transit of any significance to take me into a place where I could even work at all. Because the state of Connecticut, because of Daniel P. Malloy, has no jobs in my area. And that's in a situation of location. If I could find a place I can go where I can find a work that has easy access to mass transit, I would have more options to find jobs. At least that'd be less of an excuse not to be able to find jobs.
So what's the thing with you work at a soup kitchen, or what's going on there?
What's that now?
Do you work at a soup kitchen?
I kind of help out at the soup kitchen. I help check the dispensers and stuff, make sure there's coffee and pastries, and help out with the staff when I can. So
that's cool.
So it's not paid help. It's just basically making sure that the patrons are happy and content. And I spend much time talking to a lot of them. A lot of the people that personally have learned to feel more confident with me will be willing to talk about their issues, and I'll try to help them as best I can to figure them out. Number 23 Studio says, I am a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah, well, I just read that. I was thinking, well, I just do urge you to type into your favorite search engine, magic mushroom, psilocybin, cure depression and addiction, and you will come across relatively recent scientific studies. And the thing is, I made a video actually announcing that I had thought I had done it, but no, I didn't. I mean, I had only saved. I was doing a cleanup, and I came across some old mushrooms from like fucking last year, and it wasn't enough. Basically, I didn't do. You have to do close to a heroic dose, approximately between 4 and 5 grams, in silent darkness, as Terrence McKenna recommends. And I'm going to do it outside and some inside, but I mean, just earlier today, a fucking spider came galloping into the room, and I was like, "Excuse me, sir, no, you can't be there. What are you doing? You gotta go." And it just, so now I'm just gonna continue galloping around, just being a spider. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. I don't really want you here. So I filled up a little bottle of water with bleach and fucking water, and I was like, "I'm sorry, but you gotta go. You gotta leave this planet. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm a murderer. I killed this bug. You know, what can I do? Poured it on it, but I know that the proper way is to put like a cup over it, and then put a piece of paper. But I don't know. And then imagine tripping out, like you're really like, you know, you're tripping hard, you know, on any psychedelic, and you see one of those. I don't know. There's another reason why I honestly like. I don't know if you're religious or not, but can you tell me, Marie, why would God create horrendous creatures that are scary and ugly as hell, like spiders?
Yeah. I was just typing a message to R11. So, I mean, like, you know, like I said, there's just. I work with a lot of people, like I said, at the soup kitchen, volunteer. I help in a sense with talk to people, and there are many people in the soup kitchen that have issues with alcohol and substance abuse. And one of the things that a lot of them don't think, some people who don't have any substance abuse issues don't understand. Of course, my father had substance abuse issues, alcohol. My brother had issues. My sister had issues. I didn't, because I didn't drink, but I saw what was going on around me. And one of the things that I hear often is when they say is, you do not understand. I'm a compulsive eater. Oh, yes, I do. It's not much different, except of course with food, you gotta eat or you're gonna die. Okay, so the problem is how do you find a balance when you're like, you see good food and you're like, it makes you feel good, the endorphins go swinging up the bloodstream, and as you're sitting there and chomping away on your Oreos, trust me, it's the same thing. And it doesn't make you drunk, but you know, you feel good, and then you hit the crash and the sugar crash, and then it's not so good anymore. It's like your hangover when you basically just want to hit the mattress and sleep it off.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think about the possible connection with praying mantises and aliens? Don't you think a praying mantis looked kind of similar to the gray aliens that are usually reported by abductees? And I'm pretty sure, given a lot of the reports, that the grays are genetically engineered, you know, or they're even wearing a mask. Have you ever seen, I read this book, Whitley Strieber, Communion, when I was a teenager, and it came out with a movie.
Yeah.
And, R11H30 says, God rest its soul. I'm sorry. I do have to redeem myself and not do that again.
Well,
unless I really need to. I feel bad for killing the spider, because it like, you know, it had its own little thing, its own little life going on. It was just parading around, exploring, and I don't know. Any intruder comes in here, unless you're a beautiful fucking Nordic alien or a creature of Earth or a demon straight from hell, let's be at peace then. You can go fuck yourself. I mean, seriously. Again, the spider could fucking crawled up my leg and bit my ass. Dude. Fuck that shit. It's just a reaction, you know? A protection mechanism. I see something fucking mental. It wasn't as big as, like, I've seen fucking ones. And that's another thing I hate about the UK. There literally was a spider that came galloping in here last year that was twice as big as that one. It wasn't as big as my hand, but it was maybe about 60% as big as my hand. It was friggin' big. It was crazy. So I'm like, oh, you're gone. Fucking pick up, you know, fill him. You're out of here. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, I want to thank you for coming, because I know you got to get some sleep so you can get up for your job. So,
no, I don't have a job. I'm you know, unemployable. There are no jobs. I mean, I could work a part-time job, but that just doesn't happen, and it wouldn't be enough. You know how fucked also the UK is? People who are very capable and have a lot of qualifications, they make less than people on what's called benefits here. The equivalent of welfare. It again, working people make less than people on welfare because they got council tax, and it's just totally mental here. Anyway, so what do you think about aliens?
Yeah, we're talking about aliens now. We just BP said that many of them are demonic. I think he particularly is talking about the Watchers in particular. The Watchers were
I think though that there's like a psyop going on. There's a lot of AI and maybe like multiple astroturfing things that have been going on for a while. And I've constantly seen, because I'm an internet addict, I'm always looking at comments and I don't know, just things that are going on the internet. And I've seen a lot of different patterns. Basically, a lot of people are always saying it's the Jews, and a lot of people are always saying aliens are demons, and that's all. Like all aliens are demons. I mean, what if it's a combination of both? I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I was just reading the comment here from our 11th.
I mean, obviously there must be beings from elsewhere in other planets or other dimensions, or maybe they've evolved, or it's not all. It doesn't have to be like one or the other. I mean, it could be a combination of other things, but I don't know.
Yeah.
How come there's people in the chat saying unmute and mute? I don't understand that. What's going on?
Wow. It's running late tonight. I can barely see the road from here. Just kidding. Oh, it is getting late.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's right now my time. It's 9:41 p.m. It's 2:41 your time, and
yeah, you were right on the fucking nose. It's actually just changed to 2:42.
Right.
Lottery numbers.
I just don't want to see you lose your job because you're not waking up to be there for your shop steward before you start screaming at you, going, "Why aren't you picking those mushrooms faster?" "I'm up asleep, boss." "Why did you just not go to some sleep?" And got on Michelle show. We ended up talking at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Oh God, he's gonna be pissed. Oh.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I'm actually that's the reality of the situation. I'm being hired to pick psilocybin mushrooms tomorrow. I'm gonna be changing the. I'm gonna be I don't know, maybe adding them to the jet fuel, and we're gonna spray psychedelics into the air instead of chemtrails. No, I'm kidding. No, yeah, seriously, yeah. My boss is gonna be like, "Hey, what are you doing? We gotta." Because that's it, right? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's my job, picking mushrooms.
I'm just typing to some people here too.
Oh yeah, Skynet says I did mention it could be interdimensional as well.
Well, I'm just typing because I didn't want to interrupt you, so
What?
Both good and bad. Oh my god. Good and bad. Sorry about that. Good and bad. Not good and bad. There we go. Yeah, it's been nice having you on. What do you personally think of the show? Now, obviously, you've been on twice. You've been on Sunday. You've been on tonight. And what do you think of the show overall? What do you like it? Do you think it's a little bit weird or?
Weird is good. Yeah. I mean, I was planning on doing a rant about a really ignorant comment on one of my recent videos, and I typed in like fucking 4 paragraphs in response, and I'm just kind of too tired, and I gotta, and it's also I can like feel the neighbors like listening. Usually, I want to express myself in a louder, proper way and not talk too low for this video. So I'm going to wait for me to do that. And I'm going to let you continue the show. I guess I'll hang up in about 5 minutes or something or whatever.
I was just typing here. Okay, so this channel I try really hard to keep up with all the chats at the same time. I got both, the phone chat and the text chats going right now.
Can you fart really loud into the microphone and show us your kids?
What's that?
Are you able to fart really loud?
What do you mean by that?
Like in the morning. I like to release large anus farts. Like fucking just banging out these large anus farts out of my ass.
Okay. Well,
can you do that? Because there's a technique, there's a way to make yourself fart. You can like make air enter anus and release it and do it over and over.
It's a buildup of calcium. It's hard. Oh, okay. I get what our was talking about. I asked him to explain what he meant by a tooth in the salivary glands. He says it's a buildup of calcium that is hard like a tooth. It is inside my salivary gland under my tongue. And when I salivate, it scrapes inside my gland. Ow. Does not sound nice. The gland is defective. So that must mean that for you to eat food, you probably have to usually obviously drink a lot of water with your food. Because otherwise you'd probably have a very dry mouth. That always kind of suck. So anyway, so we're all on the same page. Real quick, it's I do a show on Friday and Saturday, which is earlier for you in the UK, which includes Ginger Marie, which means that for you guys it'll be closer to 7 p.m. your time. So that makes it easier because it's during more time, more hours, most people are awake. And when you said to me today that you didn't know if you were going to be on because it was going to be at midnight your time, I was like, okay, well, we'll probably be on Friday. And, of course, you came on tonight. And you said you might...
I do actually need to get to enter dreamland and rest my body for a moment because I do plan on heading to the hills very shortly. I'm going to start it off. I'm going to probably do a live stream on my Facebook with me cooking eggs and bacon on a fire in the backyard. I'm going to set this up real quick. Got everything charged and ready. You guys can check that out on my Facebook, which is David King, Manchester. Just type that in. You should find me there. You'll see, some guy with long hair, looking a bit to the side. That's me. It's my current profile picture on there. because I've been banned on ThemeTube. Just, YouTube thing. But I'll be able to stream live again in, I don't know what it is again, maybe 2 months. I don't really care, but I don't know. It will be nice to be able to stream again. But, I mean, the day my live streaming got reinstated, it got banned again. And someone claimed, like, there's something wrong with a video I uploaded, with some woman teaching her kids to be racist, calling, like, people, like, packies and niggers, and it's like...
Do you get a radio show? Do you get a radio show in the UK called Midnight in the Desert? That's what it's called, Midnight in the Desert, or the George Norrie Coast to Coast AM shows?
George Norrie Coast to Coast, yeah. George Norrie is... I'm not saying it's there, like, but he seems... I don't know.
Yeah.
He's all right, but I'm not gonna, like, don't listen to anything. But
the only problem is I don't have a working radio that gets AM right now. So unfortunately, I can't listen to Coast AM because all my computers make so much din that it blocks any AM radio station signals out. So
yeah, our Bell is the original Coast to Coast guy.
But if you go to Conflict Official, he usually plays a lot of the coast-to-coast streams. And I actually have listened to a few of them with George Norrie. He just doesn't play the phone call stuff, but he plays the main topic with the main interview with the main guests and things. Another one is called The Leak Project, but he doesn't play any other shows. He just does his own show. Okay.
Well, anyway, I gotta go to the urination station and gotta wake up early tomorrow. So, holy shit! There's a reptilian in the room. Oh god, I gotta go. What the hell?
Yeah, I believe it. Or 11. Yeah. Well, I guess he decided to ring off for the night, and thank him for joining us. It was I didn't expect him to even be on this late. And so he came on tonight, and he spent a lot of time with us. So it was kind of interesting. I had a hard time hearing him in parts, but I did make an effort to try to hear him correctly. Did you see my comment about the aliens? Oh, yes, you mentioned a couple of them about aliens. Do I have to keep rewinding the tape all the time? You mentioned that you thought some of the aliens... let's see. You mentioned... was that before R11? Oh, BP said... Allison 6 would be good. I know a good person to talk to about aliens. Skynet was Albert Einstein an alien or hybrid, possibly? I can't really say about Albert Einstein. I definitely think Nikola Tesla definitely gets some out of unusual concepts of electricity. It is AC versus DC power system. Yeah, the phone's free now if you want to call Steve-O. 860-738-8463. You can call that, or of course you can call through the Discord chat, which is the easier way because this will also make it possible for you to join the chats after the show too, so we can cover more things after the show as well as on the show. I just posted the link for that. And on the Discord chats, yes, you can post links. Yep, you can post links. Okay, so if you ever want to post anything, especially if it's adult stuff, you can post it in the Snow Queen Lounge. General messages. Okay. And I'm glad you came, and I hope Critical Unity that you will be on maybe on Friday or Saturday this week. It was nice having you here. Uh, yep, nice talking to you too. Sorry I had some trouble hearing you a little bit. Um, our interface isn't exactly perfect. Now I'm gonna go all the way up here. BP says, I know a good person to talk to about aliens. Allison would be talking about R11's salivary glands. You would think they would come up with an easier way to search things. Okay, BP's message retracted. What about aliens being interdimensional beings? I answered that with Skynet. And okay, and so listen. You can Google how fast, then run when people have said flee in the name of Christ. Said they are demons straight from hell. And let's see, what did else was said about that? No, 23 Studios. How far back am I supposed to go, guys? Really? BP says Theresa May is the worst border bombing Syria. Spiders are useful. No, it's number 23. Critical Unity. Yes, but I don't like them. Had fun talking. R11 says I love spiders. God rest its soul. Yes, Communion. Very good book. Be at peace. They're demons straight from hell. You can Google how fast they can run. People have said flee in the name of Christ. Be at peace. Our Lady said a lot of these aliens are demons. Yeah, I read that. Unmute. It wasn't spiders. It wouldn't have been Spider-Man. LOL. How far back do I supposed to go? I want to get caught up so I don't fall too far behind because it gets way. Do you want way too far back? Ghost 2. It was the best. That was a good movie. Yeah. It was my comment about whether Allison T would be a good person to ask about. I don't know. But maybe you could ask her. Why don't you send her a message and ask her if she would be willing to be on the show? I would be willing to host her. I think that would be something that would be consideration. So maybe in one of her videos, you could send her a message and ask her, would you like to be on Michelle's show on YouTube/Discord? And then with that, we can actually get some more people. Because I know that when Rich was here, we did really well. We did good tonight. We did really good tonight, too. Absolutely. I just checked the viewership. We have achieved a very nice viewership. There's 7 people on right now, which is totally awesome. And, well, if he doesn't want to call in, or it's up to him. But he could call in if he wants. It's up to him. So right now we have 7 watchers, which is cool. Is that really 7 watchers, or does it just seem like there's 7 watchers? There's 7 watchers, well, I already know, because... There's 7 watchers, or does it just seem like there's 7 watchers? It's the phone, take care of it. There's 7 watchers, well, I already know. Hold on a minute. Hello, Cole, how are you doing?
Huh?
Yeah, hi.
Hello, Michelle.
This is, Network Steve-O, right?
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, so how are you doing overall?
Oh, I'm doing quite well. I just got out of the hospital about 2:30. I, of course, buddy got to know that I was in there for like a week in the hospital and a week and a half in a nursing home.
By the way, I wanted to explain one thing before we get too far. Is some people have said that don't realize that my channel is one of the only ones, not the only one, that has a dial-up access line in the studio. A lot of some YouTube-specific channels do not. So for those who say I lack professionalism, that is absolutely not true.
I agree, because, Living Golden says you're not professional. You are as professional, and it is your channel. You can do what you want with it.
Right.
So, and, you know.
I do know that some people might think is, well, first of all, that brings a good question, is when people say professionalism, remember, it's not just the tools.
Right.
It's how you use those tools.
Precisely.
For example, you can have the nicest tool chest, for example, you know, I'm talking about carpenter or mechanic, and all you're using your ratchet for is to crush walnuts. And you're saying, oh, I got nice tools. Yeah, you're just using it to crush walnuts. I think a hammer would have been cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
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 But, you know, like on my channel, we have the tools the best we can to do what we can. And, unfortunately, the one piece of tool I need is a replacement Mac, because this Mac is getting old. But I'm trying to keep this, you know, this computer working until I can get a new one. But anyway, so what's your so where are you staying right now?
I'm in the Network 23 Studio shelter.
You're going back to the shelter?
I'm already there. I'm already here.
Oh, okay. So you're at the shelter. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I got here about 2:30. I'm glad to be here because, you know, the nursing facility was very depressing. Even though I made a lot of friends there, kind of calmed down from my last videos. So, you know, I got to watch a lot of TV. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, R11, you got to be kidding me. He says, ask Steve-O how he uses his tool.
Oh, yeah. My little... Oh, R11 made me come in here. He's like, basically, call in. So, hey, R11, yeah. But, I could tell you that, but it has to... in order for that, I'd have to be interviewed on Pornhub.
Let me ask you a question, Steve-O. Do you know someone that BAP constantly reminds people about, someone named Allison Thomas? Have you ever checked out her channel?
No.
Okay, let's see. You gotta search for, let's see what I got to say. ALISTHOM6. She's an evangelical, and is the woman's name right? And I'm just going to send this to BAP so he can answer this, because I can't be sure I got it right. B at peace. Okay, so I want to make sure I got that right. Anyway, so she's this evangelical. She's a born-again Christian. And she's mentioned in a couple of her videos about Jesus and the other side. And I think she would be pretty cool to have on the show, because we have covered religion so much on this show, along with aliens and everything else. It's kind of like a George Norrie show, except we only have one phone number instead of multiple numbers like he does. So,
well, I'm also, I'm a born-again Christian as well, also a Christian minister, lay minister. But I do believe, that doesn't mean my mind is closed. I believe that, that we're not alone on this planet, and there are psychic phenomena, and I've witnessed it firsthand. Ghosts and stuff. So,
Yeah, well, anyway, like I said, it sounds like, okay, I've watched a couple of our videos on YouTube. I think I have one of our videos in the 2018 playlist. I'm not sure. I have to go back and check. But she's presented a few. And another person that I have watched a little bit is Anita Fuentes. You ever heard of Anita Fuentes from Texas? And her husband, they run a ministry down there.
No.
Okay, it's another evangelical couple. She's a She's a pastor, a reverend, and I think her husband is also. Peace introduced me to them, but I don't really watch them much. But I watch people like Rebecca Marina Messenger.
I've heard of her.
Have you ever heard of Rebecca Marina Messenger?
Is she like one of those televangelists?
Oh. She's pretty cool. She tends to cover things like HPT, EP, EFT, healing techniques, other side, Mother Asna, a lot of content. And I've been trying to get her on my channel since 2013, and I have had no luck. I don't know what I'm going to do, what it would take to get her to at least just come in, and maybe if she wants to do a taped video with me, a private one, and then we can play it later, that would be fun. I've offered that option to her, and she was like, no, Michelle, I don't really want to right now. I'm like, oh. It's like, also look up the Skinny Bob video. Okay, now before I start looking all these links up, R11, could you give me a little bit of a 411 on who these people are? I'm working on it, Michelle, don't worry. That'd be really cool. I think my channel would explode. If you can get Marina Messenger on here, that would be totally awesome, because she's so cool. Because my channel covers a lot of the different topics than the Cringe Report does. It covers a lot more, I think, esoteric stuff.
Oh, yeah, and I remember you were, I don't know if it was last week or, I don't know, I lost the track of time when I was in the institution. When...
Can you repeat that? I didn't quite get that.
Oh, I kind of lost track of time when I was in the institution, when I was institution life. Seriously though, when was that like last week or the week before, something like that, when you were, when you channeled spirits and stuff like that?
One of the things that we do on my channel, which Michelle and I don't do, Michelle doesn't do as much on hers, is I go into a lot more detail on spiritual stuff than Michelle does. Michelle is kind of more like the lightly touches it, where like my channel, I go into a lot more deeper depth. And I don't know if you subscribe to my channel. It's easy enough to subscribe it to. You want to give them the link? You got the link? I have to look it up.
I don't think R11 sent me the link.
Yeah, I don't know if you subscribe to Lumi's channel, but she has her own YouTube channel as well. And let me give you a direct link to Lumi's channel, and then you can join her channel.
I don't have acting right now. I'm using my phone. I can't see any chat because you can add one or the other. As far as I can,
It's okay, here's the channel, but how do I copy this? I don't know.
Well, you can send it to my email or Dog Biscuit Boy at Dog Biscuit Boy 151 Gmail.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have your email, so I mean, this is just easier for me to just let's see. I want to share this channel. Okay, I found it on my Android phone here. I want to copy this link. I'm going to post this link to everybody because some people don't really know about Lumi's email channel address, and I want to post this out, and then they can watch this on their channel. So here's Lumi's email channel. Okay, and so anyway, you obviously are enjoying yourself on this channel, which is good.
Oh yeah, because I remember I was at the last, the first broadcast I was of you, and I was the only one on the channel. But hey, it's like, I enjoyed it. You run a really big channel.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe you could have a guest star, Mother Michelle.
Well, I know one thing that everybody seems to ask me about is they always seem to love it when I make those strange noises and stuff, which is fine, but let's see. Just doing it for you guys.
Michelle, what is asthma?
Out on the wire, my channel is not any more boring than the Cringe Report. It's a completely different format channel.
What is asthma? I hear asthma here, just asthma that. What is asthma?
So it's completely different content.
It's
like comparing Apple to Windows. Okay, it's completely different channel format.
Oh, okay.
This is not the same content.
Mind you, it took me a while to understand that sick meant really cool. So it's like, he's so sick. Like, he looks okay to me. Oh, by the way, R11, you're my hero.
Yeah. All right. Over that.
All right. R11 is my hero.
So anyway, I mean, the point is that I'm glad to know that you're doing better.
Oh yeah, much better.
So anyway, I gave you a link to Lumi's channel right there on the top. You can go right to that, guys. It's very easy. It's https://www.youtube.com user Lumi Finistra, and you just click on that.
Okay, yeah, I could go back. I could go back in the archive, or this is going to be.
And I'll just share the link to the Discord so you guys can join that too. You guys can still click on them even on the chat. So if you go ahead and mouse up to the chat links there, you can tap or click on them, and you can go to those different sites right now and check them out. And so both are great, because if you can go to the Discord chat, you can actually talk to me even when the show is over, because I read comments every day. Critical Unity fart directly in the lens of the camera and then twirl around 5 times while looking at a reptilian. What?
What? I didn't hear that.
Fart directly in the lens of the camera? Oh no.
From what I heard.
BP, she has been too many demonstrations. From what I understand, she stopped going to church a few years ago and does her own thing at home. Oh, well, she wouldn't be the only one. Well, Critical Unity, I am really glad you came, and I really hope I'll see you on Friday or Saturday this week. Well, would my thoughts be about what? She is an evangelical? There's a lot of evangelicals out there. What do you think about evangelicals? Let me ask you this. Number 20, Steve-O. I mean, seems like evangelicals are like everywhere. I mean, there's so many of them. So many who say that they are evangelicals. But one of the questions that keeps coming up is, what is the true definition of an evangelical?
Well, an evangelical is a person who spreads the word of God or Christ, and that's what an evangelical is. A person who spreads the word.
It seems like some of them, especially since the days of Martin Luther, from the original Protestant Reformations, that believe in what they call sola scriptura, the idea that the holy book, the Bible, it contains all the word of God that we need to know, and anything else is verboten. I don't see it that way. I think God can be adding additional chapters to his works as we progress further in our development.
Well, the Bible has been God-inspired by man, of course, and it also says that you who add the words to my book are hereby accursed.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bible's also known, break it down, Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth. So, that's a well-known term there, but God shows us things every day.
Well, let me ask this question. Okay, for the average person that meets a lot of evangelicals is how can you be sure which one is got the most accurate truth?
Oh, you mean the translation? Or the translation of the Bible? Which translation?
Yeah, okay. I mean, unless you're going to read the original Aramaic or Greek, I mean, which is probably the most true and pure you're going to get.
Yeah, that's the purest one. But currently, I find the King James version as close to it as any other, because you guys are New International. I'm not downing any translation of the Bible, but to me, the King James version is as close to and traditional as you can get. Plus, I go by the New King James version, which is just like a little tiny, like say, King James version goes ye, thee, thou, where the New King James version goes you, he, she, they, and mine or yours, stuff like that. It's more, they don't take away the words, but they change, instead of ye, it's you,
yeah. Because the King James Version, when it originally was created, or by the order of King James of England, right. It was Middle English. So people obviously understood that when you saw the yea, which is actually the thorn yea, not the modern Y, but the thorn, which looks like a B where it has the bump in the middle. It's yea, which means you, but it's plural. That yea, no, means that you, plural, no. Where if else, of course, they say you too. They also say the singular you as well. That's what some people have a hard time with, and like when they see things like yay old sweet shop, and then they're like, wait a minute, yay old sweet shop. That doesn't mean you. That would mean the old sweet shop, which is a different symbol, a different letter. So there's a lot of things in the old Middle English that throw a lot of people.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I study a lot of Elizabethan English. I love languages. That's one of my favorite things I do. I study language as well as everything else. What you would call a savant. When it comes to language, I love languages. I listen to everything. I listen to Finnish. I listen to English. I listen to Norwegian. I listen to Swedish. I listen to German, Italian. I had a hard time even understanding Russian, but I'm trying to understand some Russian too.
I'll come back. I know a little bit of various languages. Like, it helped me a lot in the hospital. But like Spanish, I could speak a tiny bit of Spanish, but
Okay, DPS asks, the question is, Allison has said, there are millions of things that are not even in the Bible, but it has the basics. Like, which I guess we meant is the basic guidelines to start with. So maybe the question I would like to ask, and I think maybe he is too, is, all right, how can we find out more? That's, it's probably the biggest thing that everybody actually wants to know, is they want to know more than just the basic scriptures. I mean, the scriptures are wonderful, but they're, like I said earlier, they're only a springboard. They're not the final say all end all, because after all, when the Holy Canon was written, both the Jerusalem Old Testament and the Constantine created the New Testament, there was a need to have a start of a translation. They had to come up with something to start with, because there would have been an innumerable number of books beyond the 66 in the King James Bible, unless you have the older version, which includes the Apocrypha. But the thing is that there's just so much that we see today in science and physics. It does not disprove the existence of God. For example, I think St. Thomas Aquinas said it perfectly. There had to be a first mover who created the universe. And scientists are saying the same thing. Somehow, somebody designed this thing. Who? And he did a good job.
Yeah, like, for example, like I always coincided the Big Bang, which created the universe, to God creating the universe. So, I think that's what I believe that the Big Bang thing happened when God created the universe. Because, and the...
Actually, be at peace, the situation with Sodom and Gomorrah, people did indeed get turned into salt. They found Sodom and they found Gomorrah on the Dead Sea. And the whole salt situation is real. It's real calcium. It's real. That was not a joke. That was real. That was what...
Yeah.
They believe it was a nuclear cataclysmic explosion of tremendous energy. We're talking about thermonuclear devices here, guys. And yes, Almighty Yahweh's got weapons of mass destruction. After all, look what he did with the flood.
Yeah, and it only took one family to have so much faith that he spared them. And he called Noah to build the ark, and of course you see there is proof that Noah built the ark. That was Noah, and you see the videos and the documentaries of like how they found the ark on Mount Ararat in Turkey.
Hi, Gregster. How you doing? The critical unit says, I think I should dress and drag more. It's fun being called a she sometimes. Yeah, okay. Well, whatever floats your boat. And that makes another question. I was in Deuteronomy about how it says that a man should not wear a woman's clothing. I was like, they tried to use that against Joan of Arc. I was like, what?
Well, then again, in my position, they say, I know Leviticus says man shall not lie with women, blah, 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 blah. But then again, it also says you shall not eat of shellfish like crab and lobster because they're an abomination.
But you know what? There's one question though. If a woman, the Bible doesn't really talk about hermaphrodites at all.
Right.
What are hermaphrodites supposed to do? I know what it says in the beginning of the book of Genesis, and male and the female, they created them. Well, okay, what about hermaphrodites? We're both. I mean, who created us? God did. Mother God did. They both did. But
we are, excuse me, we all are, created by God. And he blessed, he blessed you, he blessed me, he blessed us,
Yeah. I was just reading the comments. I get distracted when I read the comments, but if I don't read the comments, then everybody gets mad at me because I didn't read the comments. It seems to me like I said. So I mean, it's hard to say because like I had one priest said to me, he says, "Well, God made you this way, and you're supposed to be this way," and yet I said, "Yeah, but I've also got parts of the other. So how can I be one or the other when I'm both?" And he said, "Well, maybe you just have to pick the one that best fits." That sounds like the easiest solution, right? And I'm trying to make fun of God. I'm serious. I mean,
I know. Hey, God, I believe God has a good sense of humor. Look at the giraffe and the platypus.
I think God sometimes actually wants. Some of us are given that privilege. We do get the privilege to choose, and
Yeah.
it doesn't make me any less, any less worthy. Because I mean,
Right. Because God created you. You have a mind. You have a personality, regardless of what part or gender you are. Even if it's both you are your own personality. You have a mind, and you're here put on this earth to do what needs to be of you.
I think the old computer is getting ready to go to bed because the poor thing is starting to lock up now. I can see it's starting to get cranky. Oh, God.
And I know one thing, though, that...
So I'm not going to be able to type anymore on the computer until I reset the stupid thing. Otherwise, if I touch it now, it's going to crash and burn, and then it's going to end up knocking everybody off. That suck. So,
by the way, Michelle, I know R11 is put on this earth to be my hero.
Well, anyway, the point is that...
But seriously, yeah.
Page source. No, I don't want to do page source. Jesus. Help me, Jesus, here. What? Oh, there we go. Okay, it's working again. Yay!
Okay.
That's good. Because I don't want to get knocked offline, because that sucks when that happens, and we end up with multiple files split in twain, in endwise and lengthwise and everything else-wise. Well, it's still kind of frozen now. Oh, well, it's kind of frozen up, but it's better. At least I can see people typing. That's good enough. So, all right. Well, anyway, Steve, it was nice talking to you again.
Thank you.
I think it's time for us all to get ready for go to bed. I gotta get up tomorrow. It's 10:25 my time. And Critical Unity's got to go to work soon. About 5 hours. It's 4:25 his time.
Yeah.
And I know you're 3 hours before me. You guys, it's 7:25 your time.
Right.
But I will be on the time of let's see, Friday at 12 noon or 2 o'clock, and Sunday, Saturday at 12 noon or 2 o'clock. So. It would be 11 o'clock a.m. your time. So you can always try to join us then if you want. 11 a.m.
Okay. When?
Okay.
When?
Thank you for calling.
Oh, it was fine. It was good to talk to you again, and I enjoyed myself immensely.
Yep. And like I said, I hope to hear from you soon.
Okay,
Same with you, Critical Unity. Now it's time for us to go get some sleep.
All right.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care. God bless. Night.
Yeah, bye-bye. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch this thing over to the... If I can. What? Boy, this thing hates you. No. I have to end the show, though. I can't even get out of this thing. Alright guys, here's the deal. I don't know if I can get the show to end without crashing and burning, so let's see if I can try to get the show to end without killing the thing. But since it isn't the end of the show, if I can't properly end the show and you see the thing go dead on you, do know I'll see you guys in the near future. Okay, I'm going to see if I can reset this real quick. If it crashes, I'll see if I can try to get the crash after. Let's see what happens. Okay? Okay, I just reset that. Yay. Okay, now it's time. Okay, now let's go ahead and switch the camera to me. Stupid screen. Michelle hates this mouse. It's not the mouse. It's the... I don't want photo booth. Oops. Alright, so let me switch the back over to me right now. Cut this off. Alright, so, okay, I got it working for now. Yes. So, first of all, I want to thank everybody for staying so late. I did not mean to stay on. Alright, so everybody, I want to thank you all for coming. I'll see you guys, as I said, Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific time and 7 p.m. UK time. And of course, that's also good for Ireland too. So maybe the Irish Ginger Marie will join us on Friday and Saturday. It's just been a wonderful night. I do admit that sometimes the phone, I do have a hard time hearing it. But please do not think I'm trying to ignore you, because I'm not. It's sometimes, especially with the long chats, it's like my brain gets a little bit overwhelmed, and that's a little bit different. But okay, so let me go ahead and switch to the end credits. For now, do me a favor, stay cool, stay warm, because it's going to be getting cold again, and stay dry. And yes, our 11-8 streets, though, please do take the time to talk to Mother God in prayer. It's easy. All you have to do is just pray before you go to sleep, for example, and she will provide the answers to you in a format that you are comfortable with, and just keep an open mind. The world is different out there. Things are not always so hostile. There's good things going on too. But you have to make a conscious decision to listen with your head and with your spiritual heart too. Alright, see you later, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.